This is Dolynny TV, friends. Good evening and welcome to round number 2 against the Vancouver Canucks as the Edmonton Oilers set up what is going to be at least another good guaranteed 4 games against a team that we have had fits with all year, albeit you can make whatever excuse you want for the Edmonton Oilers in those 4 unique games against the Vancouver Canucks in the calendar 23-24 season. But that said, it all comes down now to this here on this 7-game potential, 4-game for sure, series between the Oilers and Canucks. Glad to have you aboard this evening as we are going to tee up what is going to be an absolutely fantastic game. Then we'll get to the play-by-play and then we'll really have some fun as this one goes along. As you can see already on my face, a little bit tired this evening, so we'll see. Hopefully maybe avoid overtime. I'm hoping the Oilers come out and put a statement win on the board. That said, when you do that, you know what usually happens, so we'll try and steer clear of that this evening as well as the Edmonton Oilers get set to face the Vancouver Canucks here in a little bit of time. As Stuart Skinner will start for the Oilers, he will face Arturs Shilovs. I'm going to battle myself on that one. I've heard it pronounced a million times over, and there's still a bunch of people on the radio that are screwing that one up. So hopefully by the end of this series we have it correct. And to my friends tuning in from Vancouver, I mean not to offend you if I get your goaltender's name wrong. Bear with me, we'll get it solved. 2-1-0 record. Obviously 2-1 record. Play by playoffs, so all that matters is win-loss. 1 shutout, 170 goals against average, and a 938 save percentage for Shilovs. And then, of course, Stuart Skinner. 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 shutout, and then 259 and 910. So we'll hopefully see Skinner continue to build on his great numbers from earlier in that LA Kings series, right? When I'm talking about Stuart Skinner, he doesn't need to be amazing to win this series. He just needs to be good enough. So that's where we'll continue to see if things develop in the goaltending department for both teams as this series goes aboard. Toastical, Avery, Epiphany, Brian, Matt, and Awake, welcome in this evening as the Edmonton Oilers are about set here at 8:20 to drop the puck against the Vancouver Canucks in Vancouver. For the time being, we have lost home ice, I think, pretty much for the rest of the playoffs. We have lost home ice advantage, so that is a tough look, but the Oilers will find a way, I'm sure, to battle through and at least make a series of it against the Vancouver Canucks. Of course, there was talk today about how potentially that series against the Winnipeg Jets will factor in to the Edmonton Oilers season and this playoff series against the Vancouver Canucks. So, Jason, welcome in. Glad to have you aboard as we are rolling towards the 8 o'clock marker. It's 7:24 now. Obviously, thought I'd get the live stream kicked off a little earlier than usual, so we're looking forward to getting that going here early and often, I guess, in this series. It's going to be one of those where I think a lot of eyeballs are going to be on it because it is, of course, the only Canadian teams left, and they're in a series against each other, so we're in for a good viewership in terms of that. And I expected, I know that LA Kings series, we didn't have a lot of back and forth between fans in the chat amongst most of you back home. Well, this series, I can almost tell you for sure we will have that be the case here tonight. So yeah, other than that, I don't think there's much else to mention. The points leaders coming in, Connor McDavid has 12 among a bunch of other Oilers that have a ton of points as well. JT Miller has 6 points. He leads the Canucks. Besser has 4 goals and leads the Canucks. Hyman has 7 goals, by the way. And of course, for those of you that heard the can crack, it is the ceremonial Pepsi, I guess you could say, for these live streams as we go along. Connor McDavid with 11 assists, so this will be a big test to maybe see if this is the series Connor decides to start shooting the puck against the opposition, right? He only had 1 goal in that series against LA in 5 games. You know that in a playoff series he's capable of much, much more if he wants to, so be interesting, I guess, to see if Connor McDavid decides to take care of business. So for the Oilers, here's the other big part of this series. 4.40 goals per game. The Canucks at 2.17. The Oilers are giving up 2.60 goals against per game, and the Canucks an even 2. So math that out how you want. If you get to the averages, I think the averages still kind of favor the Oilers in this one. But again, the Canucks, if they give you nothing, it's hard to generate anything, right? I think would be the easy way to break it down. And the Canucks penalty kill after that series against Nashville through 6 games is, of course, sitting at a grand total of 90.9%. The Oilers penalty kill unbeaten. So special teams, of course, will be another big challenge here this evening. So Bling Man, pregame with the drinks before the game. Well, I'm trying to get the Pepsi, the caffeine into the system because I spent the first 10 minutes down here in the studio getting the stream set up in the back and pretty much just yawning or fighting yawns. So we'll try and get the Pepsi going early and often and see if we can change the dynamic here as we go along for the evening. So, all right, we continue to go through here. So what do we got? We got Jason from the boardroom in Drayton Valley. Well, we will have to one day make a trip to Drayton Valley. I think that's one of the very few actual down home Albertan towns that I haven't been to in my lifetime. So I'll have to find a way to get down to Drayton Valley one time, especially if there's a sick place called the boardroom. And well, you're man, you would almost think that after some of those second period performances in that LA Kings series, but I can assure you my brain just kind of falls apart after hockey gets going on a weeknight late after the 8 o'clock hour. So awake, good evening to you and Avery, as well as it is going to be a lot of players or a lot of hockey fans' favorite team versus second favorite team, I think, in some right? I think for a lot of Alberta Canucks fans, the Oilers are somewhat that second favorite team, and I think even in my own instance here tonight, in the possibility that the Canucks do beat the Oilers and advance on, you will likely see me carry on streaming the Canucks the rest of the way home. And I mean, unless there's some kind of bad blood where the Canucks come out and two-hand chop McDavid over the back or something, I really don't see any reason not to go out there and try and get a Stanley Cup for Canada this year. So that is where I'm kind of looking at things right now, is to try and hold on hope for the Oilers. But if not, yeah, well, at least for another round, we've got a Canadian squad that we can cheer for. So it is, of course, not the worst case scenario, but it's not anywhere close to the best case scenario. And we are still hoping full well going into this series for the best case scenario. Starting tonight in game number 1. Truck, welcome aboard as well. The Edmonton Oilers about to get things going here this evening at 8:20. For those of you just tuning in, I see a ton of you just bouncing into the chat here, and of course bouncing into the viewers as well. So we are, like I said, just hitting that 7:30 mark. We got about a 50-minute pregame to go this evening, and then we will be ready for puck drop. Obviously, Hockey Night in Canada will get things started up. Yeah, probably about 8 o'clock and really start kicking things off, but we are still moments away from that happening either which way. So SR, welcome aboard, and I think Art, we missed you earlier, but you're back in there now. So Nucks had the most travel time in the first round, and Quinn looked beat up. Well, that is the thing, right? Elias Pettersson's sick, Adam Henrique's out of the lineup, Thatcher Demko's injured, the Canucks are using a third string, and of course, too, Evander Kane's kind of in that situation where he's trying to nurse that sports hernia. So there's a couple chaotic things happening in the injury list, and that is not to add the potential injury to Quinn Hughes. So there's a ton of things floating around out there in the stratosphere by the time you get to round number 2. And for the Oilers now, it's about tidying this up if they are to win as quickly as possible to make sure they don't kind of have to deal with any more injuries than they need to. I know that was kind of the messaging against the LA Kings as well. We sit for a week, and now we're back to action against the Vancouver Canucks in game 1 of round 2 starting here this evening. So Toast, welcome back in, and Robin, welcome aboard, and mini hockey friends, for those of you wondering about score predictions, we'll get to that in a little bit's time here. We'll kind of wait this one out till about the 7:50 mark on the clock, and then we'll start talking score predictions. Just kind of get the chaos of everybody being aboard and in here as we get the first pregame intro into tonight's hockey game for the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks, as both teams get set up for what is going to be a very important hockey game tonight, I think one might say, for both teams, looking to really out of the gate set the tone in this series almost as soon as possible, because if you sit back against either team, if you're the other side, you're going to be in trouble. I think that's been said about the Edmonton Oilers against the Canucks quite a bit here over the past 3-4 days, but I will tell you, for the Canucks, if they try to sit back and defend right out of the gate and instead of taking it to the Oilers, they are going to be in trouble as well. So there's plenty of opportunity here for both teams nice and early. Again, friends, for those of you just joining up here, Stuart Skinner versus Archer's Shilovs. Again, I'm not 100% sure on the first name pronunciation there, as I've heard it a million and one ways this week, listening to Flames radio, Oilers radio, a little bit of Canucks radio, everything that you can possibly consume about this series, because it is an all-Canadian matchup in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. That ought to get you fired up. So Skinner at 4-1 record in the playoffs, 1 shutout, 259 goals against average, and a .910 save percentage. It is, of course, Shilovs with a 2-1 record, 1 shutout, 170 goals against average, and a .938 save percentage this this playoff so far. So we're looking forward to seeing what happens here for the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks as we get things going here in a little bit. That said, Magic, welcome aboard, and Mr. Doom, if I missed you earlier, welcome back in as well. So, delaying, and to those of you back home wondering if you can watch the game here, unfortunately you can't. It is copyright material, so copyright of the NHL. They are kind of enough, I guess, to say, to allow me to do knockoff play-by-play of their games, so that I am grateful for. And if you want to stick around and at least stay in tune with the game, hey, glad to have you aboard. If not, that's all good right there. So let's go here as well, Toast. Who do I think will win the Stanley Cup? I've been making no bones of it. I'm saying the Edmonton Oilers. I got to stick true to that, and that's not just a homer thing. I think this is the year Connor McDavid, of any of the years, Connor McDavid busts through with Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman and company, and really goes out there and gets this job done. I mean, round one was a little special, watching us really deal with the Kings very well, and now it's kind of going to take ourselves a little extra step to try and deal with the Canucks with the same fortitude, same direction in our game, I guess you could say, right? Straightforward. The Oilers didn't really care about getting nasty with the Kings in round one. Instead, they really just cared about winning. And I guess if you do that here against the Canucks, it could be interesting again to see if the Oilers can find a way to do that here in round two. So they're showing some highlights here of Elias Pettersson, who had a rough series against the Nashville Predators. Obviously, he's been fighting some illness here a little bit, so kind of battling a little bit throughout it, and we'll see what happens for him in this series. But they're also showing a bunch of highlights of the Nashville Predators really pushing Pettersson around. So the Oilers are probably going to have to watch for that and try and replicate that to some extent, to try and replicate the Predators' success they had stalemating the Canucks for most of 6 games over the span of that series. So we'll see what happens. Jonas, welcome aboard. Samantha, is this live for tonight's game again, friends? Unfortunately, I cannot show the game. We'll have that question for those of you unfamiliar. I'll kind of recircle through that a few times here in the pregame. Can't show the game. It's copyright material of the NHL. They are kind enough to allow me to do what we're about to do tonight with the knockoff play-by-play and just sitting here watching me freak out about a hockey game. But I promise you, for those of you wondering, well, why would I sit here and watch you? I'm not by any means a professional broadcaster, I guess you could say. I do have credentials of some sort saying that I can do the thing, or could be if I wanted to be, but former Junior B broadcaster. I've called Hockey Alberta Provincials the past 3 years, so not to say I know what I'm doing, but also not to say I don't know what I'm doing. So be glad to have you along if you want to stick around for this one. So we'll continue on the pregame here, friends. Again, just recycling back to Skinner and Shilovs being the starters for those of you just tuning in here right now. Skinner's got a 4-1 record, and of course Shilov's a 2-1 record. Both goalies with a shutout so far in the playoffs. Shilov's numbers are phenomenal, but again, there is a big difference between the Nashville Predators offense and the Edmonton Oilers offense. The Oilers operating at 4.40 goals per game. The Predators operated through 6 games at 2.0. So you think almost a double and a bit step for the offensive comparison between the two teams for the Canucks defense. It'll be interesting to see if Shilov's kind of just comes in and does what both the Smith and Demko did against the Oilers this season and really just stalemated us. No matter how many shots, no matter how many looks we put up on the net, they just kind of turned us aside at every turn. Or will the Oilers find a way to really just dummy a third-string goaltender and make him look like exactly what he is, that being a third-string goalie? I don't know. And for the Edmonton Oilers, they also have to worry about how Stuart Skinner will look throughout the early part of this series. So, friends, as well, I just noticed a little marker here on the live stream that I usually pay attention to that I really should have told you about. Tonight we're going for, I think, throughout the round 2 series, we can probably do 600 hours watched on the stream. Now, for those of you back home that don't know what that means, as we get things going towards the 8 o'clock hour, basically the watch time on the stream is a barometer of how many of you back home are choosing to stick around, hang out, and have a good time here on the Dolynny TV live stream. So just basically saying if I'm doing a good job or not is basically the watch hours. And as we currently math that out right now, friends, it's just I'm a math nerd by trade. So right now we're up at 13 hours. So we're rolling along here early on in the live stream, kind of getting things started here on the pregame edition as we're kind of starting to get towards that hour per minute streamed marker here early on. Again, for those of you just joining in, it is Skinner versus Shilovs in game 1 of the round 2 series between the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks. The Oilers power play in round 1 was 45%, and the Canucks 15.4. The Canucks, though, killed penalties at a 91% clip. So the Oilers were at 100. But again, you got to figure here for the Oilers tonight is the longer you stay at 100 and the more you keep that power play percentage above 35-40%, the better off you're going to be throughout this season. So you're trying to avoid kind of the disaster that happened for the Oilers as the season rolled along early on against the Vancouver Canucks. 3 games, tough looks, and now the Oilers get their first full look under Chris Knobloch. Connor McDavid's in the lineup against the Vancouver Canucks. Not saying we're totally expecting different results, because there is that Oilers possibility at every turn that we are about to be in for a grade A disaster here tonight in game number 1. But we've got our fingers crossed. We know the boys are ready to go, hopefully, and away we go kind of into this game number 1 with a really good game, right? Go in, dummy it a little bit, and really try and turn around the fortunes against the Canucks so far this year. Brian, welcome in. David, welcome in as we get everybody aboard here this evening. Everybody seems to be joining along here for the chat. And we got Brian cheering for the Canucks, so one of the first Canucks fans in the chat here. We've got a couple other folks in that were earlier, but that's fine and dandy as we are now officially 40 minutes away from puck drop, friends. We are about set to get this thing going at 8:20 this evening. We will obviously have the anthems and stuff, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what the pregame antics are in Vancouver. I kind of had a weird schedule during the first round where I didn't really catch much, if at all, of any of the Canucks versus Predators unless it was on the radio. So it was kind of a weird situation where it just kind of kept shaking out. Every time the Canucks were on, I was in the car listening to the radio. So we'll see now, being able to sit down and relax and actually watch the hockey games that the Canucks play, how much of a good time it is in Vancouver, because this is the big show in Canada this next 2 weeks, obviously, right? Wrapping up sometime late next week, early the week after, is Oilers and Canucks are really going to be the primary focus of Western Canada, if not all of the country, for the next 14, 15, 16 days, whatever it is, until we are done this series. So, SK, welcome aboard, and Art is mentioning that point I was talking on right just a moment ago, that Game 1 record for the Oilers over the past several years, not so good, so hoping to change the fortunes here. I'm actually going to move this PxP up a little bit here and try and change that over so as we're not sitting here continually leaning down out of the frame. But friends, the Edmonton Oilers are just moments away from getting this hockey game underway. Obviously, it's 7:40 now. The pregame, all the amble will start probably about 8:10, and then we are really going to really get it going here in this game 1, round 2. It's crazy to think the Oilers are in round 2 again for a third straight year, right? It was round 2 against the Flames in in 2022, round 2 against Vegas in 23, and the Canucks in 24. So looking forward to getting things going. Michael, welcome aboard. As Thomas, welcome in as well, another Canucks fan tuning in there, as we are just about set to watch warm-ups get underway in what is this, early ongoings of the hockey game. Obviously, the Oilers and Canucks hitting the ice for the first time in an actual playoff game in a little while. The Canucks have had a few-day break. The Oilers have had just about a week off, so we're looking to get things going here. As the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers: Janmark, McDavid, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, Kane, Holloway, McLeod, Perry, Fogle, Ryan Brown, Suter, Miller, Besser, Hoglander, Pettersson, Mikheyev, Joshua, Lindholm, Garland, DiGiuseppe, Bluger, and Lafferty. Those bottom 6 lines for the Canucks, let me tell you, they're pretty solid, right? And that's the thing. The Canucks can kind of mix and match the same way the Edmonton Oilers can at times when they have to. So this evening it'll be really interesting to see who starts moving the chess pieces very tactically based on the first 5 minutes of the game, 10 minutes of the game, first period of the game, once we get into that intermission. Because obviously the Oilers' tendency in a game over the past 5-6 years has been to overreact to bad results early on, start mixing up the lines and really get blended. Whereas I think the Canucks, under Rick talking a little bit more steady Eddie, and will try and keep going with the same thing until proven after a little while it doesn't work. So we'll see what the case might be as we continue along here tonight. Inns going for Lindholm to be an X factor. I wouldn't doubt it, right? I would not doubt that at all for the Edmonton Oilers and Vancouver Canucks. Lindholm being a difference maker because, A, he's a former Flame, right? He was a part of that Flames team that the Oilers basically cratered in 22, and he's probably looking for a little bit of vengeance for that, right? They had a good thing going in Calgary there a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just fell apart due to the Oilers really breaking that team down at the seams game 2 through 5 of that 22 second round series. So we'll see what happens. Vision, welcome in as well, as we are moments away from getting this one underway, friends. For those of you just tuning in, I'll update you on the goaltenders tonight. Is Stuart Skinner with a 4-1 record, 1 shutout, 259 goals against average, 910 save percentage. Archers, Shilov's 2-1 record, 1 shutout, 170 goals against average, and a 938 save percentage in his games so far for the Vancouver Canucks in the playoffs. So the size of Canuck, the Philip Hronek on the defense, 6. Ian Cole, 6'1". Nikita Zdorov, 6'6". Carson Soucy, 6'5". Tyler Myers, 6'8". You got to remember, the Oilers have some size on the blue line as well, so you got to think that it's going to be interesting to see both defenses kind of take it to each other's side of forwards, because obviously both teams are going to be defending very well as this series goes on, based on what they did in round number 1 against each of their oppositions. So Sandbox joining us again for another series bandwagon jumper from Manitoba here this evening. So I assume it's going to be kind of split loyalties for Jets fans, some going for the Oilers, some going for the Canucks, some praying both teams somehow find a way to lose this series just based on that. So we'll see what happens here tonight. But the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings about to get, not LA Kings, old habits die hard, am I right? Vancouver Canucks ready to get underway here at 8:20. So They've revealed some names for the NHL in Utah: the Utah Venom, the Utah Ice, Utah Freeze, Utah Fury, Utah Blizzard, Utah Blast, Utah Mountaineers. I think Mountaineers is my favorite. Utah Caribou, Utah Frost, Utah Outlaws, Utah Canyons, Utah Mammoth, Utah HC, Utah Glaciers, Utah Squall. That one sounds terrible. Utah Powder, Utah Hive, Utah Yeti. I think that's the one that's going to win out. Utah Swarm and the Utah Black Diamonds. But I will be interested to see what happens here in this one. So, Dean, good evening to you, and welcome aboard, as well as we're getting towards this here, friends, in a matter of moments. The Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks puck drop. Obviously, it's 7:46 right now. We're about, I guess 25 minutes away from things getting underway officially between the Oilers and Canucks for the pregame ceremony stuff. And then obviously from there on out, it'll kind of go for both teams towards that game time over the next 10 minutes, and then we'll have puck drop at 8:20. So, Justin, welcome aboard, and Adam, welcome in as well. Wales, welcome aboard too, all the way from New Westminster this evening. Oof, that's enemy territory, unfortunately. As right now, I'm saying, right, I think over the course of the year we've had some really good banter back and forth between Canucks fans, Edmonton Oilers fans, and now it's about to hit a whole new level, because simply for both teams, this means win or go home in this series. And now it kind of gets interesting to the point that I don't think the kitty gloves are going to be on for either team anymore when it comes down to playing nice in the sand here in this series. That said, you can expect from me, friends, if you're tuning in, you've kind of tuned into the pre-series videos here on Dolynny TV over the span of the past few weeks. I will tell you, what you can expect from me is no real hate or vitriol towards Canucks fans. At the end of the day, like I said, if you're a Canucks fan and you're wondering what I'm going to do when possibly the Canucks win this series, I will tell you I'll be live streaming right here with all the Oilers gear behind me, your Canucks games moving into round 3, if that is the case here tonight. So, case over the next few weeks, sorry. Max, I don't know if you remember, I was joking with you, but now I'm saying let's go Oilers. Well, Max, welcome aboard. We are about set to get things going tonight for hockey, as warm-ups look like they are coming to an end here in the next little bit. So hopefully for the Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks, we get things set up for a good hockey game. Obviously, both teams looking for big performances out of their goaltenders tonight. Our moderator this evening, Josh, will be taking care of business for those folks that kind of cross those lines, right? I think the rules for those of you that have been around before are pretty simple. You know what's going on, and right now we'll hopefully see everything hopefully go on to be good in the chat. Series against LA was good. Why not continue it against the Vancouver Canucks? Well, here's where I would say the prediction that the team that wins game 1 loses the series. Again, that's what happened in 22 for the Flames. They won game 1. It was wild. The Oilers looked terrible. And then the Flames went on to get swept 4 games straight after that. So you would assume, therefore, the Edmonton Oilers, you lose game 1, you might just be able to find a little bit of that magic again against the Vancouver Canucks. So let's go here. Magic's talking about the trash talking. Paul, Canucks are the biggest chokers in the NHL. Not again, right? I've had my say on it so far, and we'll see where it all goes. So, you're trying to tell Ella to stay calm because she's freaking out for our Oilers. Well, I'll tell you, the Oilers, I think based on that series against LA, there's not as much to freak out about here this evening as compared to maybe if it was game 1 against the Canucks in the first round here in 24 and we still hadn't won that first game against the LA Kings. That's where I'd hope for right there. David's tuning in from Arizona, giving us that series in 5 kind of prediction. And let's go. We've even got BOG in here, so let's go. We have got everybody aboard that usually is aboard. We'll see a couple more folks trickle in here in a matter of moments. So Where are we at? Again, to those of you just tuning in here, we're up over 150 of you aboard. So again, I'd guess we've got a couple of new people tuning in again. It is Skinner versus Shelovs in net for the Vancouver Canucks. Just a tale of the tape here entering the series. The Oilers, after round one, averaging 4.40 goals against goals for per game. The Canucks averaging 2.17. The Oilers with a 2.60 goals against, and the Canucks with only a 2.00 goals against. 45% on the power play for the Oilers, and of course 91% almost even for the Canucks on the penalty kill. So there you have it. As we have got so many chats coming in this evening. It's moving a little faster than I think the previous few games have. So pardon me if I'm losing my mind a little bit here trying to keep up, but. B-Max talking about the Avs looking a little rusty in period one last night. Well, tonight, I think both for the Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers, you will see them be a little rusty to start things out. I don't think it's going to be no secret that both teams are going to try and really get things started early on in this game, but there might still be a couple bumps and lumps to start. You might see the highest scoring game of the series here in game one, and then things will settle in from there. I would assume that's kind of the case based on some previous series for the Oilers, maybe for the Canucks as well. But friends, I was distracting myself from asking, if you are just tuning into the stream or you've been here for a little while and you haven't hit that like button yet, I know we're doing really well here in terms of how many of us are aboard for this one here tonight, but I would like to ask you to hit that like button this evening on the stream, just simply because by the end of the stream we can get absolute chaos going, especially if we go towards overtime. I'll tell you why, because that like button kind of tells Google and YouTube to kind of go out there and suggest it out. So be interesting to see if we can get that mess started here early and often this evening. But as we continue on, they've got Gene Principe on our television sets right now. So the series underway, and obviously Gene is still on the case here. That's fantastic for us. Dan, welcome aboard. And as well, I just want to get to Total Chaos's comment. For those of you tuning in wondering if I will be showing the game, I'm lucky enough the NHL allows me to do what I'm doing right now, and then once the game starts I call the play-by-play for you based on what I'm seeing on my TV. For some it's what you want to listen to, some it's not. I've heard all kinds of reviews from friends, family, strangers out there in the universe, and of course you guys back home. So we'll kind of see what happens as this continues along here tonight. So we are just about to one of this. We're just about to get this going here at 8:20, friends. That is when we'll get things started. I was trying to make out what Gene Principe's guest on his broadcast was saying, but couldn't understand anything. I've got the volume cranked down to 2 on the TV, so the old ears, when you're talking and you're trying to listen at the same time, don't usually work out too well. As Magic, I'm not sure what would happen if I did that. I know the YouTube algorithms probably wouldn't like that too much, but hey, we can figure it out. Yeah, we'll see what the Edmonton Oilers have in store for us here in a little bit, friends. Again, for those of you tuning in just recently, it is Skinner versus Shelovs in net. Both goaltenders were phenomenal in round one, considering where they've been over the course of their career, considering kind of where they're at right now. And for the Edmonton Oilers, obviously, it comes down to the hope, and Stuart Skinner continues to be phenomenal. And for Shelovs, the Canucks are going to depend on him being phenomenal, rocking that .938 save percentage. Connor McDavid, through 5 games in round one, had 12 points. Brock Besser leads the team for the Canucks at a point per game. Hyman with 7 goals and Besser with 4. And you've got Quinn Hughes with 5 assists. Connor McDavid with 11. And then that's kind of where we shake up. And again, to recap here, friends, it was kind of one of those shady situations all year for the Oilers and Canucks, where the Canucks just kind of handed it to the Edmonton Oilers, quite frankly. 8-1 for the Canucks to start the year, 4-3 a few days later for the Canucks on the Oilers' ice, where it really was just a terrible game. The Oilers looked absolutely awful despite putting up a ton of shots. Oh, hiccups, biting hard. 6-2 for the Canucks then in Vancouver in November, which was the game that more or less doomed Jay Woodcroft, and then 3-1 for Vancouver in, April here as we get things going. Back to the chat here for a moment. Hey now, welcome aboard round 2. We are just about set up to say let's go Oilers here in a matter of moments. Oh, and I'm falling apart here as we start this live stream for some reason. Starting to struggle here early on tonight. My apologies, friends. We will survive this evening, I promise you that. But we are getting things going. L, who am I cheering for? I think that is, every time I get that, that's a redundant question because, or rhetorical or whatever, because of the jerseys behind me. But I always got to make sure I say I am cheering for them, Edmonton Oilers. Jesse, good evening to you. And Nucks played one more game than the Oilers. That's nothing to hiccup on. Well, you are correct. I am... I am struggling here, but we'll battle through. It's definitely one of those things for the Oilers and the Canucks here through round 1. It is kind of one of those situations where the Oilers should have the advantage all told in the offensive department, but the biggest thing is for the Oilers, they have to come through with a good effort defensively to keep the Canucks off the board, and that should allow us to kind of start getting the numbers where they should be by the end of this playoff series. So, player, welcome aboard as we continue to see everybody tune in. I gotta stop putting the Pepsi down there. Keep messing myself up here, but we are currently battling through the hiccups, friend. I guess what you could say is this is something that has not yet happened on the Dolynny TV playoff live streams over the past few years. So this is extraordinary circumstances, one could say. We're already up over 55 hours on the stream. So friends, we're watching highlights of the Florida Panthers and Boston Bruins, and the Bruins are getting dummied 5-0 or 5-1 after dummying the Panthers 5-1 in game 1 of the second round. So we're going to be we're going to keep going here. Hopefully the hiccups kind of mess off in a little bit here. But we are just about set for the hockey game to get underway. It's 7:58, so obviously the broadcast will kind of lead us in here in a little bit. Ooh. As we get the messages going here tonight of some friends watching the game at the bar, so that's good to see as well. So I'm thinking we've got some folks tuning in saying they're going for the Oilers, going for the Canucks, as we continue to see everybody join aboard here this evening. Friends, glad to have you on the Dolynny TV live streams as we are just battling through the hiccups. Stick with me here. The NHL playoffs for the Edmonton Oilers, the Stanley Cup playoffs, I should say, or rather, for the Vancouver Canucks, as well as round 2 about to get underway in a matter of 20 minutes all told now, as we're about to really get things fired up. So Rodrigo, welcome aboard this evening, and Trent and CG as well, as we get things rolling towards things here. So we are continuing to rock and roll here, friends, as we just crossed over 50 likes on the stream, and we are really just about set up for this hockey game. There's not much to mention out. I think it's kind of all been played out so far here in this pregame, in this obviously too in the lead up to this series. We've had too much time to get this series underway, so now all it comes down to is getting this started at this point. And Shilovs, who's been a fantastic goalie for the better part of the past year for the Canucks, and of course for his home country of Latvia, he is hoping to replicate that same success here tonight in round 2, being the starting goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks. Connor McDavid, Stuart Skinner trying to get things started for the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously leading the way will be Connor, possibly shooting the puck like we haven't seen all playoffs yet. Give me just a second here. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Alright, here we go, friends. Sorry, my apologies. Just had to yell at the dog for scratching on the rug. You know, that'll happen once in a while. Alvin, welcome aboard. And Klondike, welcome in as well. So we got the We got the chat going on here this evening. I should get the water into me and try and pound these hiccups out, so. All right, I think we might have beat them. I don't know, we'll find out here in a matter of moments, but yeah, the Florida Panthers responding very well against the Boston Bruins, and now we'll see what the Boston Bruins will have in Game 3 against the Florida Panthers. It'll be a tough go for them to respond, but I think you'll kind of see them respond pretty well because both those teams are well positioned to go 7 in that series. That much is for sure. Canadian Dan, welcome aboard from the Philippines this evening. As friends, we will. If you stick around with me here, we'll have the Where in the World you coming in from game sometime in the first or second period. We're up to 285 of you aboard here on the live stream early on this evening. Thank you again for choosing Dolynny TV for whether it be your pregame amble or whether it be your play-by-play of the hockey game. I'm glad to have you aboard, and thank you for checking things out here as we get set up towards what will be a fun hockey game tonight, one might think. Obviously, Shelovs and Skinner in probably good for a good goaltending performance, one might think. And now, friends, we are about set in the next 18 or so minutes to get this hockey game underway. Drift, welcome aboard, and E-Man, welcome as well, and Junior, welcome in. So we are continuing to get things going here this evening towards the hockey game obviously kicking off. They've got Kevin Bieksa and Luke Gazdic handling the hockey sticks inside the Rogers Control Studio for Hockey Night in Canada as we are talking about set plays for the Edmonton Oilers and Chris Knobloch, who's kind of drawn up some beauties this season so far. Jim and Chris, welcome in as well as we continue to get things rolling towards what will be a big hockey game. Game 1, round 2. Obviously, the Oilers winning Game 1 against the LA Kings. They are looking to replicate that same success here tonight against the Vancouver Canucks, but you got to wonder if they're going to be able to do that here against a very stingy, very capable defensively Vancouver Canucks team, as both teams are going to have to really try and swell up the middle of the ice and try and prevent those high danger chances, one might think, because both teams have good offensive weapons, and Elias Pettersson was a little too quiet. PD was a little quiet, one could say, in that round 2. So actually, just thinking of that, I have to send a text message to an old friend. As we get things going here, as we have to check in with an old Vancouver Canucks fan friend of mine and tell him, may the best man's team win this series, as we are about set to get going. And Matthew Tkachuk is fighting David Pastrnak right now. All right, Josh with the big updates. That is a huge one right there, because that will be that will set off a series and a half in the next 5 games between Florida and Boston. My goodness, why aren't I listening to that or watching that? I am messing up right here live on stream, friends, as we are about set to get things going. Trina, welcome aboard, and Okanagan, welcome in as well. Cheering for the Canucks. Friends, if you're cheering for the Canucks right now, good on you. Thanks for being aboard. Thanks for hanging out with us crazy Oilers fans. I think the chat mostly is, of course, Oilers fans, but glad to have you aboard if you are from the Vancouver region, from across BC, or from across Canada, cheering for the Vancouver Canucks. If you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan cheering for the Canucks, it's okay. Canada forgives you, as we'll get things going here tonight, friends, for this hockey game. In a matter of now just 15 minutes until puck drop, it's the Oilers, the Canucks, round 2 in just over a few minutes' time. Again, Connor McDavid comes into this series with only 1 goal in the playoffs, but he's got a grand total of 12 points so far, so he will likely continue to be a factor for the Oilers going into this very first game of round number 2. Again, friends, if you haven't already left the like on the like button here on the Dolynny TV Oilers Canucks round 2 game 1 live stream, I'd love to have you do that for me, as we are obviously set up for a crazy finish to this hockey game if we're already up over 370 of you aboard here on the stream this evening. So just to say again, we continue to check in on the watch time as we go along here tonight, friends, and this live stream is going to get pretty crazy as we go on for the ride this evening, one might figure. And as we go here, we are already up over 93 hours watched on the stream. So thank you again to those of you that have hung out with us here so far, through me stammering through the hiccups, trying to figure out what I need to say in the pregame, and basically trying not to hype it up too much. I don't have any rants to go on. I don't really have anything to say too much that's not going to curse the Oilers or curse myself early on in this series. So we'll just kind of go here for right now and just keep chatting away with you here on this one. So yeah, we continue to see things roll along here this evening, friends. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, we're 14-ish minutes to puck drop. I'll have your play-by-play of tonight's hockey game for you, and we'll have a good time this evening, I promise you that. So Lyle, welcome aboard as we continue to see everybody tuning in. James as well, glad to have you aboard as we continue towards tonight's hockey game and the Edmonton Oilers and Canucks renewing hostilities, right? It was a 4-game series that kind of had a few tense moments, one might say, throughout the 4-game set. So we'll see if that kind of carries over and both teams kind of amped up after a first-round victory. Where the physicality level is early on in this hockey game, I don't know if you're a Canucks fan, if you could fill me in the chat right now, if somebody from the Canucks side could fill me in on how heavy the hitting was against Nashville, let me know, because I think for the Oilers tonight, their secret is going to be definitely winning the hits battle. I know they didn't do that, if at all, against the LA Kings, but tonight, if you do that against the Vancouver Canucks, one might figure the Edmonton Oilers are going to have some good success early and often. So the Oilers and Canucks kick off here in about 12 minutes time. Puck drop will be 8:20, friends, for those of you wondering. So again, to those of you just tuning in, tonight's starting goaltender, Stuart Skinner, 4-1 record, 1 shutout, 259 goals against average, 910 save percentage for the Oilers. So on paper, although Shilov's technically only played half the series, the Canucks have the edge in goaltending even with their third string goalie. Shilov's 2-1 record, 1 shutout, 1.70 goals against average, and a 938 save percentage. So he was stellar throughout the back half of that series. So yeah, friends, we are getting towards tonight's hockey game. Obviously, what I will tell you again, if you're tuning in right now, you're kind of wondering, does this guy show the game? What's going to happen here? I am a former Junior B broadcaster here in in Alberta, actually, a little bit all over the place. What I will tell you is I'll have your play-by-play for you, but I unfortunately can't show the game due to copyright with the NHL. They're gracious enough to allow me to do the knockoff play-by-play for you, so I'll try and keep you in the loop as best as possible as the Stanley Cup playoffs intro officially gets underway here on Sportsnet, as we are about set to get this game going, as we've got the first few images of the home fans in Vancouver, everybody getting set up for this one tonight. So we are about ready to get things going here for what should be a good game one. Obviously, the Oilers and Canucks have waited long enough for this game one. I think we can all agree on that. It's been a long wait to get towards tonight's hockey game, and now for the Oilers and Canucks, we're about set to do it at long last, as both teams looking forward to getting things going for what should be a fun one tonight. The Canucks, it's their first second round series at home since, you guessed it, way back when in 2011. So they're looking to have a little bit of fun here in front of the home fans. The Oilers looking for kind of that upward trajectory in this second round, build off of the steam in round one and really just carry it through round two. But this is probably about as even and as fun of a matchup as the Oilers and Canucks are going to have in these playoffs, no matter who moves on. So I'm looking forward to it, because whoever faces, whether it be the Avalanche or the Dallas Stars, that is a completely different set of rules than maybe what the Canucks and Predators face, the Oilers and Canucks will face, and what the Oilers and Kings faced to begin the playoffs. So Dennis, welcome aboard. Also a big Oilers fan, probably cheering every goal. I will say this to you, friends, right now. For those of you back home right now, kind of deal that are kind of split loyalties, right? I think for a lot of BC folks that moved to Alberta over the years, the Canucks are always number one. But the Oilers, hey, they got Connor McDavid. They're fun to watch. The Canucks kind of had a couple rough years there, and hey, at the end of the day, now all of a sudden they're facing each other in the playoffs for the first time since 1992, when way back when, before you moved to Alberta, it wasn't a problem because you were still in BC. So everybody tuning into the chat here, the chat is moving fast and furious here on Dolynny TV this evening. Sorry, I can't even comprehend how fast things are moving this evening, but yeah, we are rolling along here tonight, friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on the pregame portion. We are inside 9 minutes to puck drop this evening. The Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks about to get things started this evening, as it is going to be a good hockey game tonight, and obviously a good series as well. So we continue to go towards puck drop. There's some Oilers fans outside of Rogers Place right now. Everybody cheering on the steps of the Ice District Plaza. And friends, the Oilers and Canucks are now officially 8 minutes away from puck drop. Again, for those of you just tuning in, wondering, hey, what's the news on this game? Well, it's Skinner versus Shelov's in net for the Oilers. Connor McDavid, I think he is the Oilers' biggest difference maker in round two. If he decides to shoot the puck, Canucks don't stand much of a chance, but again, the Oilers can win multiple ways. They don't need to depend on Connor McDavid scoring 12 goals in a series. So we'll see what the case might be here this evening. So we will continue towards this evening's hockey game, as Scott Oak will take us inside the building. So the Oilers and Canucks series actually has 3 reporters on duty. Scott Oak, Jamie Thomas, or is Jamie Thomas? No, not Jamie Thomas. Is it Jamie Thomas? I don't remember who the Canucks guy is. And of course, Gene Principe. That's a really bad moment. I should have paid attention earlier in the broadcast. My apologies, friends, as we are continuing to roll in here for this one. So, yeah, we are just about set for puck drop here in 7 minutes time, friends. We're getting towards it. We're getting closer. We're getting just about there, as the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks will take to the ice here in a matter of moments for the pregame intro, the anthem. And that's the big thing. We only have one anthem tonight. That seems crazy to say in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but it is the truest thing I can say about tonight's hockey game. With 140 hours already watched on the stream here, friends, we are really close to having a crazy night this evening, as we have got David Amber and Kelly Rudy inside Rogers Arena, and it is the Battle of Rogers here between the Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks, by the way, as you got to remember, Rogers Arena, Rogers Place, both arena rights owned by the Rogers Company, and we are getting towards this. So friends, what I will tell you right now is, well, I haven't checked the subscribers here this evening, but if you've been aboard for the pregame portion, you're like, I could probably stick around for more of this. I could probably figure out what's going on here over the course of the next little bit. I will tell you, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV, I'd love to have you aboard for more of these pregame ambles and more play-by-play throughout the early part of this series and into the late half, and then onwards and upwards into round number 3 for either team. That is my promise to you. I will carry on with whichever team wins. Obviously, I'm hoping it's my Edmonton Oilers, but if it's the Vancouver Canucks, giddy up, let's have some fun and see what happens here. So we continue towards puck drop here, now 5 minutes away, as we're just about there. I'm going to take a moment to just kind of check. Ooh, the glasses are a little bit dirty. We'll keep those off here. As again, friends, just crossing 500 of you aboard here this evening. Thank you for hanging out with us. Stuart Skinner down the tunnel in Rogers Arena, getting set to hit the ice, as the Edmonton Oilers are just about set to do things here on Hockey Night in Canada. As yeah, you got the blue suits, everybody's ready, they got the mics, everybody is geared up for this one. It is going to be fantastic this evening. So to those of you that have hung out with me here so far this evening, thank you so much for doing so. And then shall we do this in about 5 minutes time? I'm geared up. I'm kind of less nervous now. I'm actually kind of excited for this one, to be honest with you. Now the nerves have kind of settled out, the hiccups are gone, and we are about set for Edmonton Oilers, Vancouver Canucks, second round hockey in a matter of moments here, friends, As we are going to see Arthur's Shilovs come down the tunnel, and he is set to lead out the Canucks for round number 2 at home. Rogers Arena, they've got home ice as we are closing in on this hockey game getting underway this evening. They got the white towel spotlight at center ice right now for the Canucks fans, the young Canucks skater at center ice, and we are about set to do this one in a matter of a few moments here, friends. The Oilers Canucks, they're going to do the pregame intro stuff as Stuart Skinner will take to the ice for the Edmonton Oilers. This is something you're going to see a little bit different on this broadcast. I'm sure both teams getting the goalie intros as there is Arthur's Shilovs hitting the ice for the Vancouver Canucks. The towels are waving, the building is rocking, and this is going to come up to the Edmonton Oilers fans to match this as well in games 3 and 4, but now we are just moments away from this one getting started here between the Oilers and Canucks. Are you ready? It's been a 55-minute pregame show, but we are just about to kick off tonight's festivities. We will have one anthem, one singular anthem, as we are about set to obviously drop the puck on round number 2. Friends, this is going to be a good time. Thank you so much again for being aboard. I did not expect this for the pregame amble this evening, but I appreciate it. Nonetheless, it's been absolutely fantastic having you aboard. Not even being able to keep up with the chat this evening. It's kind of tough there, so my apologies if I'm missing you. One last time, for those of you back home wondering if I am going to be able to show the game, I can't. It's copyright material of the NHL. I'd lose my channel. But again, to those of you that kind of know the routine, I'll do the play-by-play for you. I've been a Junior B hockey broadcaster over the course of 10 years. And I've done the last 3 Hockey Alberta Provincial Championships in Cold Lake. So I got experience on the mic. We'll try and bring the play-by-play home for you. If you don't have access to 630 CHED Sportsnet, 650 I think in Vancouver. So we'll try and bring this one home for you throughout this series. And I appreciate you being aboard. So let's get this going here, friends. The Oilers Canucks just about set for the Anthems inside Rogers Arena. And we're about ready to get hockey underway for round number 2. We've waited a long dang time for this one. And here we go. Now we've got Mr. Rick Tocchet, Mr. Chris Knobloch on our TV screen. Some more shots of the Vancouver Canucks fans. And we are ready to get this going. So all together, all in is the slogan for the Vancouver Canucks here in the playoffs. And now the anthem singer walks down the tunnel and ready to get things going. So it will be time to get the Canucks going and the Oilers in a matter of moments. But first, Elizabeth Irving has our national anthem as O Canada gets underway this evening, friends, for the Oilers and Canucks, as we are about set for round 2 here in a matter of, 2-3 minutes. The puck will be dropped and the action will be getting going here between the Oilers and Canucks. They've got the flag unfurling in the stands. Matthias Janmark gets the start on the top line with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. Matthias Ekholm on the back end with Evan Bouchard, who has taken a big time opportunity to get things going here for the Oilers in round 2 as a big time defenseman, I guess you could say, right? They've got the mic inside Rogers Arena held high into the air, so both teams will sing the anthems alongside their fans in this round 2. I didn't know that Vancouver was doing that. That is interesting. So here we go, friends. They've got a shot of the Vancouver area born Mr. Evander Kane as we continue to get things going towards this hockey game going. The flag is furling up inside the stands now for the Vancouver Canucks. Connor Garland on our screens here, and we are about to take home puck drop here in a matter of moments. Friends, thank you so much for being aboard for the pregame edition of Dolynny TV. Shall we get to the play-by-play here in a matter of moments? Puck drop just about to happen. And just as we go check here one last time, up over 196 hours on the stream. So let's get to it. Let's dummy a live stream this evening, friends. Let's dummy the Vancouver Canucks, hopefully. Again, don't mean that offensively to you, my Vancouver Canucks fans. I mean that as a let's go Oilers as we get things started up here this evening. Stuart Skinner, 4-1 record, 259 goals against average, 910 save percentage with a shutout. Archer's Shilovs with a 2-1 record, $170 938, and 1 shutout on the ledger. So Zach Hyman starts on the wing for the Edmonton Oilers this evening. And we will get things going with puck drop momentarily. Just a second. Come on now. Let's get this going. So, are we going to do this? Referee to center ice. Shakes the arms. Connor McDavid, JT Miller, ready to take the face-offs. Zach Hyman up there against P.S. Suter. The puck is flipped and we are arms up, underway. The Canucks win the face-off back to Tyler Myers. Near side, puck comes over to Soucy. Banking it off the near side boards, back inside the Oilers zone now as the Canucks enter the offensive end for the first time in the series. The Oilers quickly turn back the other way. Connor McDavid dragging through the middle. No penalty upcoming against Brock Besser, as this one will come in behind the Vancouver Canucks net as Tyler Myers turns that puck over. Quick shot from the outside by the Oilers. Turn back to the Canucks the other way. Canucks right to the middle of the ice. There's a puck bobbling over top of the stick of the Vancouver defender on the near side, as it'll be Ekholm in the far side corner, leaving it for McDavid up through the middle, tipped up by Matthias Janmark, and it will go flipping to the blue line. The camera just never moved, and just like that, we're underway here. A little bit of discombobulated play to start tonight's hockey game. So there you have it. Quinn Hughes, Philip Hronek, the defensive pairs, Nikita Zadorov, Ian Cole, as well as we will have 19:20 to go in this first period of play. 0-0 the shots, and obviously not much happening here as there was a potential too many men. Is that what we're talking about? Too many men for the Vancouver Canucks? Possibly here, as we are going to have a power play here for the Edmonton Oilers right out of the gate of this hockey game. 19:20 to go, as this one's won back by the Vancouver Canucks. They'll clear around to the near side and out of the zone, all the way back inside the Edmonton Oilers end. Stuart Skinner leaving that one there for Evan Bouchard. The Oilers power play was 9 for 20 in the first round of play as Draisaitl back, loads up Connor McDavid right through the neutral zone, skates into the Canucks end. Bank pass back to Bouchard high point, but it is knocked down by Ian Cole and fired back inside the Edmonton Oilers territory. The Vancouver Canucks fans all over the Edmonton Oilers here early on in this period, and obviously that is maybe playing a factor here to the slow start of the power play as McDavid tries to get past Cole. He's sticked away, and here's Bouchard knocking down a puck at the point. Back to the point it comes for Bouch one more time. He'll play off to Nuge, far side, down low now for McDavid. McDavid right in front, backhanded, flipped up on McDavid as Nugent Hopkins will gather up the puck. Buck 08 to go here in this power play is stolen away by Cole, and nifty little pickoff, and he's going to try and wheel and deal up the middle. Had maybe a breakaway pass. Instead, it's blocked by Bouchard on the shot from the slot and back the other way. Here's Nugent Hopkins playing it onto the tape of Draisaitl up down the right wing. Here he comes. Shot fired off of Shilov's pads. Kept in far side point by Bouchard. Pass across now to McDavid. McDavid firing the shot towards the net. No, he'll pass off instead to Nugent Hopkins. Nuge back to McDavid. 38 seconds to go in the power play. Leaving it there for Draisaitl. Draisaitl at the near side dot will play down low for Nugent Hopkins across far side. Zach Martin Hyman scores the goal for the Oilers, and oh my goodness, we didn't waste much time busting this beauty out again. ZMH just did it. Open the scoring in round 2. Why don't ya? As the Edmonton Oilers get things going with just over 2 minutes gone in this first period of play. Is what a play right there for the Oilers as Leon Draisaitl down low, rotating, ends up going back down low to Nugent Hopkins. Pass across the crease, back of the net. Chip shot for Zach Hyman as he finds the back of the net to open this series, and the Oilers find themselves up 1-0 to get things started here this evening. So we'll see what happens as we are fully awake now. That is for sure, Liz, as the Oilers' Zach Hyman scores the goal to face off. Won back by the Canucks again, the 8th of the playoffs on the power play by Zach Hyman. 2:11 into the hockey game. Nuges and Draisaitl's 6th assists each of the playoffs as this comes to the near side. The Oilers inside their own zone. Corey Perry will lead out, and the Oilers quickly backhand inside the Canucks zone. And this is kind of one of those situations. The Oilers got the early lead. How long can they hold it as it's back up the other way into the Oilers zone? A nice tip at the blue line there for the Canucks will allow them to peel off for a line change down to Darnell Nurse in behind Stuart Skinner. He's surveying as the Oilers changed as well at the same rate. And it'll go up through the middle as Fogle will dump in off the boards down low into the Canucks end. Brown lays a hit, the first big hit of his playoffs, the first game of his 2024 Stanley Cup playoffs. A pinch there at the blue line by Desharnais forces the Canucks to kind of chip it into the corner, and that perhaps might have worked out for the Oilers near side. The puck rolls back to Desharnais in behind the net, and a good quick recovery there for the Edmonton Oilers. Near side pass over to Connor Brown across the Canucks line. Just a soft dump chip there from Brown, who kind of has his legs moving, and he is really getting to it. Down low behind the goal line inside the Canucks zone. This will be batted up along the wall, batted back towards the boards, and Draisaitl will take over, playing it now to Bouchard. Bouchard fires it into the Canucks end. To the far side it goes for Evander Kane, who takes a hard pop and then an extra shot and an extra second one there from the Vancouver Canucks defender. Back the other way now. Here's Suter. Shot fired, bobbles off of Mattias Ekholm right in front to the far side. Kane's going to be under duress right away. Canucks get the turnover. Down low it comes, and the Canucks will set up the attack here as Ekholm will battle it away from the Canucks, and it'll be nicely cleared out by Leon Draisaitl to center ice. And that's what you like to see. The Oilers continuing to do those nice little chip plays out into neutral zone. 15:48 to go here in this first period of play. The Canucks went all the way back into their own end. Joshua picking it up across the line, stolen away by Connor McDavid. The Oilers 3-on-2 back the other way, working back into the picture. The shot fired off the side of the net there from Shilov's backhander in front by Zach Hyman. Can't do it there as it's tapped back down low for Matthias Janmark. Right in front, the puck is stolen away by the Canucks near side. Cody Ceci pinches back down low, trying to get it to Connor McDavid. He's going to try and swim past the Canucks clear and right through the middle of the ice. The Oilers have given up a breakaway in on net. The backhand blockered away by Stuart Skinner as that one bounces into the far side corner. The Oilers are buried along the wall. This game's starting to open up a little bit here as this one will come back now for the Oilers 2-on-3, and they will instead just choose to make the safe play, dump it inside the Vancouver Canucks zone. My goodness, this has been a great opening first 5 minutes. Not that you want to be giving up breakaways, but you want to see those saves when they happen from Stuart Skinner. Desharnais rims around the boards, clears out of the zone. The Oilers retain possession. Fire to the far side, open wing, trying to poke it down farther as it's picked up by Foegele. Right in front, trying to pass that puck free. Can't do it. The Canucks will come back the other way. Mikheyev across the line. The shot loading for the Canucks right through the middle. Desharnais scoops it away as the Canucks will fire into the near side corner. Pettersson down low to Mikheyev, trying to backhand around the net as Pettersson will go to the far side point, right in on net. The shot up over top for the Canucks, back to the near side. And this one will be played down low in behind now. Back to the blue line it comes. The Canucks again passing this puck all around the Oilers zone. There's a stick in the middle of the lane. It's Corey Perry's stick. 84.1 mile an hour shot. Just can't do it for Ian Cole as the Canucks get a line change. Pushing down deeper is Phil DiGiuseppe. And this will be Dylan Holloway stealing that puck away and lifting out to center ice is the Edmonton Oilers. And this is looking like playoff hockey all of a sudden. Stuart Skinner plays off to the defender here. The Canucks fans are just absolutely raving about their efforts so far from their team to start this hockey game despite being down one. Oilers across inside the Canucks zone. This is now Foegele taking a fall to one knee, batting it around near side to Bouchard. Shot fired, blocked in front, and now comes back down low for Foegele as it'll go to the far side, and Brown will try and free that one up. He does against Bluger, and it comes free in behind the net now for Quinn Hughes, who will take a little bit of a couple hands up top from 1-1 Foegele. The physicality battle, it's kind of been interesting so far. Here's Draisaitl, a shot on Shilov's rebound. In front, denied by the Canucks defense. The Oilers regather at the blue line. Both teams having a good start to this hockey game as Draisaitl around the far side. Passes it over to Foegele. Foegele skating around looking to make the play. He will fire the shot up over top of the net and out of play. And just like that, we have played 7 minutes and 15 seconds of this first period. My goodness, that is light you up hockey, friends. This has been a good game so far, and glad to have you aboard for it. Thank you so much for tuning in here so far through the early portion. Again, friends, what I will tell you, I'll spare you the commercial breaks through the first 15 minutes of this first period, but I'll tell you right now, if you are new to the channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button. Tonight's goal, 15,500, and as we currently sit, we're at 15,449, so we're 51 away as we get towards things here this evening. So thank you again for being aboard. Friends, we're on a commercial break if you're just tuning in. It's been a fun start to this hockey game. It is Mr. Zach Hyman with the first goal of the series. That was impressive on the power play. A great pass from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, finding him backdoor. And again, friends, as well, we're already up over 254 hours watched on the stream. If you haven't already left a like, again, I got to do all the housekeeping notes and the very few commercial breaks we get, as we go along this evening. But thank you so much for being aboard here tonight. This has been fantastic so far for the Oilers, albeit one breakaway against, and that was kind of a really lackluster moment in this first period so far, but it was Stuart Skinner bailing us out with the saves, so no complaints there so far. If Stuart Skinner wants to make those saves, the Oilers up 1-0 here early on in this hockey game. So to give you the scoring summary, it was Hyman from Nugent-Hopkins and Draisaitl. Hyman's 8th from Nugent's and Dry's 6th. I was going to say 5th. 6th assists of the playoffs. So, yeah. We continue to roll along here, friends, as the Oilers obviously need to kind of get back to that situation they had against LA, right? If there's pressure, just flip it out in the neutral zone. Reset, get them at the blue line, try and go back the other way. I know, obviously, too, there is something to be said about the situation with the Canucks being a better team than the LA Kings, so we will worry about that as it goes along. As friends, to those of you joining into the chat, unfortunately, I'm just not able to keep up with it tonight with how fast the game's moving and with how fast you guys are moving along in there as well. But glad to have you. Of course, Josh is doing his best to take care of you here this evening as we are about set to get back underway. It's Draisaitl in the face-off dot against Elias. Who is that? Number 29? Is that Lindholm? Is Lindholm? I don't know. As this will be a face-off. One back by the Oilers. Face-offs down, and away we go to keep this first period going. Shot from Draisaitl up to play off a stick. And that one goes all the way into the netting. Just a few moments tick off the clock. About 8 seconds off the clock there, as the Oilers and Canucks just barely got back to action before we had a betting ad on the broadcast. So here we go. We have a shot of Rick Tocchet, who, he has a command of his Vancouver Canucks bench, a very good coach, and a man that got respect from me very early this season. In fact, in that 4-3 game that the Canucks beat the Oilers in Game 2 of the year, it was myself telling Rick Tocchet, great job on the turnaround, and now all of a sudden he's about to get ultimate payoff here. If the Canucks can find a way to win this series, the face-off down, the Canucks back inside the Oilers' end. Cody Ceci under pressure will try and dump it to the far side boards for Kane, who will lift off the glass, get it back to the blue line. The Canucks get it back the other way, back in low inside the Oilers zone. Battling there is Nurse. Battle is won by the Canucks. Reversed in front. It's Kane coming up with the puck. And this will be bounced back onto the tape of Draisaitl. Ceci's out of the zone. He'll play up through the middle to get a tip right on Shilovs, who will cover up this puck. And all of a sudden, that first 7 minutes moved quick. And now things are starting to slow down. Kane's tangled up with Zadorov. 91-on-91 violence here, as both players kind of taking it to each other with a little token of hey, I do what you do appreciation to it, I guess you could say. 12:08 to go in this first period of play as we continue, friends, towards this hockey game, finishing up the first period already. Kind of crazy to think, as we just barely got this one underway and we're already 8 minutes in, right? We had a puck drop at 8:20. We've had a commercial break. We've had some delays, and we had a power play and a goal all told, and we're already 8 minutes in. Not a bad goal this evening, as the Oilers and Canucks just trying to get things situated here after that Kane-Zadorov dust-up. The first of what will be probably many dust-ups between those two players as the playoffs round 2 goes along. Face-off inside the Canucks zone. Lindholm will once again take the face-off here for Vancouver. Connor McDavid there on the face-off, losing it back, as the face-off dot as well will be a decisive area for this series, one might find, as the Canucks quickly through the neutral zone force their way in. Garland looks absolutely tiny out there against the Edmonton Oilers, as the Canucks get their second shot on goal. An easy backhand stop off Garland for Stuart Skinner, as we will continue to have commercial break after commercial break and stoppage and play after stoppage and play. Here as this first period rolls along, the shots 4-2 for the Edmonton Oilers, a 1-0 score with 11:54 to go in this first period of play. Friends, we continue to roll along early on in this one, as the face-off now between Derek Ryan and JT Miller inside the Oilers zone. One back by Derek Ryan, a rather astute draw straight back and over to the far side. Now it comes for Connor McDavid. Puck onto the stick of Evan Bouchard leading up the right wing. He's got skating room over to Zach Hyman. Hyman's got the pass over to Ekholm. Ekholm bangs it down the boards to the far side for Connor McDavid. This one to the far side now down low for Janmark. Janmark will look to make the play over to Hyman. Hyman off the boards. Back over to Bouchard. Down low now picked up here by Janmark. Hyman cycling along that dot. Back over to Ekholm. Down the wing. The shot! Right from the middle of the ice by Ekholm. Denied by Shelovs. In behind, the Oilers really starting to capitalize on the Canucks. Moving around their defensive zone here. Nice pass there by McDavid down to Hyman. Hyman trying to spin and fire. Can't do it. Ekholm's got the puck now. He's taken down and then takes down Tyler Myers in behind the net. The puck continues to roll near side now for McDavid. Far side pass. The shot fired just wide by Dylan Holloway, who had his best looking opportunity as Bouchard gets into it with someone here. I think that's JT Miller, or who is that he's battling? Is that Elias Lindholm? I don't know. Too far to see at that point on the TV screen. Actually, that's Pius Suter. As we continue to just have those little delays in the game here. We've had a lot of stoppages after that first wide open 7.5 minutes. But we'll take what we can get. 10:53 to go here in this first period of play. The Oilers now lead the shot department 6-1. As this will be a 1-0 lead for the Oilers. Almost halfway done in this first period of play. 5-2 the face-offs for the Canucks. I had a feeling it wasn't going so well so far, as this one will be one back by the Oilers, quickly by Derek Ryan, trying to get it down low to Warren Foegele. Far side corner, picked up by the Canucks, reversing around to the near side. Hronek will fire off the backhand. Desharnais kind of bled down low to try and keep that one in, and now it's up to Foegele to chop it off. A stick does, and then Kulak almost coughs it up at his own blue line. Chip along the boards, picked up by Foegele again, and the Oilers just kind of rolling around that neutral zone, back down into the Canucks end. The Canucks have it, as Vancouver will try and turn back the other way. 5-on-5 as this comes across the Oilers line. Tipped there by the Canucks. Everybody going for line changes. Picked up by Brett Kulak. 10:15 to go in the first period. 6-1. The shots on goal. That is not what I expected over the Oilers here early on. Yeah, getting the goal on the power play, sure, that's not unexpected. But a 6-1 shot lead, and obviously not looking the worst doing it. That's not a bad thing at all, as this will be the Canucks again on the dump in by the Oilers. Leading ahead back the other way. Here's Cole across the line. Dumping in behind the net to Bluger on the far side, as this one will go back now low for McLeod, who plays to Perry. And the Oilers zone exits so far after that LA Kings series got going has just been incredible compared to maybe where we were midway through the season, or even at any point of the season. The Oilers zone exits have been so much better, as this will be in behind the net now. Zadorov continuing to try and survey for a chance out. Now suddenly the clock is bleeding. The Oilers quickly gather that up as Nurse kind of took a play there in behind the net. No arm up, as he thought maybe a hook and call or something was coming. He kind of spun around to the referee. Both teams will be looking at the refs a little bit early on to try and gauge what will be and what won't be let go, or kind of see the look on their eyes to see kind of where they were about to call the whistle or not. As here's Bouchard across the Canucks line, firing down into the near side corner. This one's starting to get a little bit more low event as Nugent Hopkins goes in behind the net. Both teams' bodies flying around out there, and really no calls so far. It was a too many men call for the Canucks that led to the power play goal for the Oilers, so that'll happen as this one comes back to the blue line, as it'll be picked up by Bouchard. Bouchard to the far side, or middle actually, as this one from the Oilers just dumps in to Quinn Hughes. He'll take the hit from Evander Kane, picked up now by Nugent Hopkins. Nuge will roll around inside his own zone. 8:20 to go in this first period. 8-7 the hits for the Vancouver Canucks. That is interesting that they're going to have that on the shot clock. Haven't seen that, I think, in that first round series, as this will be picked up by Connor McDavid. Stonewalled at the blue line by the Vancouver Canucks. Oh boy, oh boy. And here we go. This one to the middle of the ice, picked up by the Canucks at the Oilers blue line. Miller trying to fire this one across. The shot from the blue line by Hronek, kept in onside by Zadorov, who by all accounts had a good series against Nashville. Back to the middle. Here's Miller reversing around to Ian Cole. Cole to the middle of the ice, buys a bounce off the skates of Desharnais that landed on Besser's tape. In behind now, JT Miller. We are bleeding clock here fast. Once again in this first period, Zadorov down low as Desharnais battles it free to the far side boards. Janmark again trying to get it down low to Desharnais. And instead it'll be Brett Kulak firing at the length of the ice all the way down inside Vancouver's territory with 7:19 on the clock for an icing call. And goodness sakes, we only have 8 shots through almost 13 minutes of play as Hronek fired a beauty of a shot off the stick of Stuart Skinner. Just came that close to breaking the goose egg for Vancouver early on in this first period of play. So 7:19 to go in the first period. Face off inside the Oilers zone following the icing. One back by Pettersson. Near side it comes and it'll continue to roll around the boards there. And Hyman will see it battled off the boards by the Vancouver Canucks. Shot in front by Mikheyev. Just right through traffic. Got a hold of that one. Stuart Skinner equal the task on his 3rd save of the evening. So Skinner's starting right off where he left off against the LA Kings. You like to see it right here. So we're doing well so far this evening. As I'm seeing a Geo says hi in the chat. I assume I know what's going on there. So Mr. Geo making sure to check in on me any way he can. All right, friends. Commercial break time. Like I said, we'd save the commercial until the last 5 minutes of the first period. So once again, I'll tell you, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, maybe right now is the time. If you want to, hey, at least have that 3rd, 4th, 5th, whatever you need option to be able to check the old score. Right, I got the scoreboard here. If you need that option to listen to a little bit of play-by-play, again, it's kind of hokey sometimes, but you get where we're going. And obviously, too, love to have you aboard for more of these Oilers games, Canucks games as we go along. Yeah, we are continuing to roll towards the end of this first period already. It is Zach Hyman from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Leon Draisaitl early on in this hockey game on the power play. The shots are now credited 5-3 for the Edmonton Oilers over top of the Vancouver Canucks. 10-9 the hits, so nothing much really happening there. The hits actually in favor of the Oilers, to be honest with you. And so far, just kind of everything else is pretty even up out there. So we'll continue to see where this one leads us to, friends. But the Oilers and Canucks giving us a good performance so far through 13 minutes of this first period. We'll go quickly check the watch time again here as we'll go here and see that we're up over 354 hours on the stream. So thank you to those of you for hanging out with me here early on this evening. We're also approaching 10,000 views on the live stream. That doesn't happen every day during game 1 of a series. So thank you for being a part of that. So Wayne Gretzky on the Oilers power play in October 2021. When I see these guys getting that 5-on-4 situation, it's almost unfair. So shall we do this, friends? Back to action. 7:09 to go in the first period of play. Oilers and Canucks. As Pettersson will take the draw inside the Edmonton Oilers zone. Derek Ryan sees the face-off, one back by the Canucks, but it's quickly snapped out by Connor Brown on a steal away into the Canucks' end. And Hronek will flip it to the far side, and it'll be back inside the Oilers zone just like that. Nurse narrowly avoids running into the referee, and it's picked up and fired back out by the Oilers. Fogle kept it in at the blue line just a moment, and it'll be carried across the line. Shot fired away by Shilovs. I didn't even realize that was going to hit the net. The camera was wide angle, and Shilovs just kind of kicked that out from the far side point as the Canucks will bring this back inside the Edmonton Oilers zone. It bobbles back into the neutral zone. 6.5 to go in the first period. 7-3 the shots on goal as this will continue inside the Canucks end. They will look to make the play near side. Picked up by Quinn Hughes, who obviously not 100% from all the reports we're hearing, but he's trying to battle through, and he's taking a few pops there from Evander Kane early on in this series as this will be picked up ahead by McLeod over to Holloway onside. Holloway is trying to keep this alive, and the linesman will actually rule it offside as it looks like it might have bounced up on Holloway initially entering. I was looking at the ref, not the linesman. That is my apology. So we continue to roll in this first period, friends. So far, so good from the Edmonton Oilers, and now they just really got to finish this one off here late in this first period. Corey Perry out there on the wing there for the Oilers with McLeod and Holloway. 6:08 to go in the first period off the near side boards. Picked up now by Cody Ceci. Far side snap over to Darnell Nurse. Nurse will bounce it up off the boards into the neutral zone. And this will be again batted in by the Vancouver Canucks. It is going to be as much as possible of a stalemate between these two teams early and often in each of these games, right? That's how the Canucks know they're going to win, and that's how the Edmonton Oilers know they can win. So 5:43, the shot to the middle of the ice there. It kind of came off the end wall and landed on Perry's stick, and he just quickly snapped it back into the middle as this comes back inside the Oilers zone. No icing there as the puck just got up on end and snapped right onto the stick of Cody Ceci before the goal line. 5:25 to go in this first period play. 7-3, the shots on goal. Back up the far side boards, kept in there by Ian Cole. Quickly turned over to Cole again by Nurse, just trying to pinch along the boards and fire it back the other way. As this will come back now for the Oilers down the wing as Vander Kane right in front, turned over, and now Draisaitl out of the corner right to the middle of the shot from Ekholm. Scores! Mattias Ekholm on the pass from Leon Draisaitl in the corner to the blue line and went for Ekholm, and he finds it back of the net. 2-0. The Edmonton Oilers pump it home. 2-0 with just exactly 15 minutes gone in this first period of play. Leon Draisaitl picks up an even strength assist. You like to see that. And the Edmonton Oilers find a way to the back of the net as that one just kind of rolled around the Canucks. A bad turnover by Cole. And Draisaitl right through the middle, and then it is a big shot from Mattias Ekholm to the back of the net. You like to see that right there for the Edmonton Oilers. So we'll see where this goes as we continue along here in this first period of play. 4:59 to go as the Oilers have jumped out to a 2-0 lead. BOG, I know I just deleted your comment, but again, friends, I appreciate the sentiment when there's usually curse words used in the chat, but just trying to keep it friendly for all ages here this evening as Draisaitl picks up his 7th assist on the playoff run. You like to see this, friends, as the Oilers are about set to get things going. There we go. We are inside the last 5 minutes, so I will send you that commercial break I was talking about. And for those of you that don't get that, I will also encourage you to potentially hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. We'll again check the subscribers as we continue along here in this game. The Oilers jumping out to a 2-0 lead. You love to see it. We're up to 15,468. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out and deciding to come back for the next, maybe the post game, the next video tomorrow, whatever the case might be, as we are rolling along here. So, yeah, we are going here as you guys are trying to figure out CBC Gem. Yes, for those of you back home in Canada this evening that are trying to figure out how to watch tonight's hockey game, CBC Gem has you covered as far as I understand. That's what I'm kind of understanding, is they are kind of covering the 8 p.m. game or the Canadian games every time. So we are into a commercial break, friends. Absolutely dummying along here tonight for what has been a good live stream so far, and thank you so much for hanging out. Really do appreciate that. We are about to set the record for most watched live stream here. Well, live actually. I think we ended up finishing game number 5 against the LA Kings, all told with 10,050 views, and we are now at 99.35. So thank you for tuning in and hanging out. Like I'm saying, the goal scoring again, we'll recap it. A 5-on-5 marker from Mattias Ekholm on a cannon of a shot from the point beat Shilovs. Hyman with the original marker to start the scoring from Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl. Draisaitl now up to 2 points. The Oilers have 7 shots. Canucks have 3. 14 straight games allowing 2 goals or fewer. How to win in the playoffs during 16-game win streak this season. They're talking about the Oilers' formulaic winning 8 games, allowing 1 goal or fewer, 3 power play goals against, 93.6 penalty kill percentage. So let's do this, friends. 4:50 to go in the first period of play. The shots now officially credit the Oilers with 8 as Stuart Skinner is getting something checked over on his mask or on his eye. He's getting some eye drops put in. So interesting to note that. That could be interesting down the stretch if Skinner starts bobbling up on pucks a little bit here. With 4:50 to go in the first period, friends, we are moments away from getting this hockey game back underway. The Oilers lead 2-0. Just trying to get things situated here. So here we go. Let's do this. Face off at center ice. Picked up by Zach Hyman. Hyman will push across the line into the far side corner. He'll get right in behind Shelovs. Picked up now by Connor McDavid. As McDavid back to the blue line now for Ekholm. Bouchard, Ekholm. Ekholm missed that pass. Instead wires it down in the corner for Zach Hyman, who wins the battle. Hyman bats it around to McDavid. Instead it's cleared up the boards now by the Canucks. Bouchard keeps it in down low for Hyman. Here we go. We continue to get the attack going. Hyman backhand off Shelov's mask. Oh, another chance there for McDavid. Couldn't jam home the backhand as the Oilers get 30 seconds in the offensive zone as Bouchard steps around Joshua. The shot from the point, save made by Shelovs. And this is a good couple of sequences there for the Oilers over the span of a minute. Across the line now, the Canucks get across into the Oilers' end. And the shot fired off the boards there, blocked in front, flipped out by the Oilers, as they often do when holding the lead and under a little bit of pressure inside their own zone. Foegele makes Myers bobble the puck to the far side, picked up now by Connor Brown. Back to the point, the shot by Kulak, up over top of Mr. Shelovs in net for the Canucks. Foegele digging in deep, as the shot to the middle there by Brown, couldn't get the pass in front. Foegele near side now for Desharnais. Desharnais down low. Coming to Brown, over to Foegele. Foegele will skate this one into the corner. $1.36 for Quinn Hughes on this shift. Puck out of the corner and now behind the net for Hughes, as he's got $1.43 into this shift. And back the other way, the Canucks enter the Oilers zone. Spun off there by Ryan McLeod on the dump in, and this will go to the far side boards as Pettersson takes a jolt. Desharnais defending the post as the Canucks start the attack here inside the Oilers zone, but miss the pass at the blue line, and that's a tough look there for Ian Cole, missing that one. Puck right in front as Perry missed that one in the far side. The Canucks across the line, bat down low, and the Oilers are forced to chase in behind as McLeod tries to fish this one out from behind the net against Höglander. Far side, now back to the point as Cole will fire the shot through traffic off the post. Right in front, point blank, back to the blue line as this one comes near side for the Oilers again on the block, as Holloway will go to the far side boards and free it up for Nurse to dump it inside the Vancouver Canucks zone. I was sweating there for a moment seeing that puck bounce off the post there for the Oilers as the Rangers and Hurricanes get Game 3 going tomorrow, by the way. Puck off the wall, fired out by the Canucks inside the Oilers zone. Di Giuseppe tied up Ekholm at the blue line, so it forces Bouchard to rim it around in the near side boards. Bluger trying to get this one going. Instead, it's stolen away by Leon Draisaitl. Back across the center ice line onto the tape of Evander Kane. Draisaitl already with 2 assists in this hockey game. Shot towards the net. Goes wide off a body with $1.52 to go in this first period of play. Puck picked up by Bouchard. Rolled back down low by Draisaitl inside the Canucks territory. $1.43 to go in this first period. Picked up again by the Canucks across center. Fired in for a line 4 line change. So this will be fired to the far side. Rim back in by the Oilers off the bounce for an icing call. And that is where I need water. I kind of ran out of steam there. And Zach Hyman coming out of the corner just about bit Shelovs up top, but he was able to get the chest on it. And right in front, Mikheyev jammed it off the post, just off the corner pad of Stuart Skinner. What a lucky break that one is for sure. And Josh had that call right there all day on the back-to-back messages. As this one will be picked up now by the Canucks inside the Oilers zone. Miller will go down low, looking to make the puck back to the blue line as Myers pumps the shot on as Skinner stands tall on shot number 5 of the game. As here's Miller in behind. Back to Besser. Besser right in front, turned aside by the Oilers defense of Desharnais, who really shined through in that, first round series against the LA Kings. So this one comes back down low as Desharnais continues to battle there. Janmark's able to get it out to the blue line area. Myers, good tight keep. Far side boards for the Canucks. Myers continues to be on the ice. Shot fired through traffic, blocked in front. 43 seconds to go in this first period of play to the far side. Miller, as the Canucks have something cooking inside the Oilers zone here. Myers has got to be careful though to get back as the Canucks continue to roll inside the Oilers zone. They're not really getting in the middle, but Hughes will fire down low to the far side boards for Besser. Back now high for Zadorov. Down in the near or far side corner, picked up by Bouchard, who's been out there for 2 minutes. This is a bend, don't break shift here for the Oilers. Puck comes free for the Canucks, tied up there by Janmark, who's been on the ice for $1.50. 6 seconds to go in this first period of play, continuing to battle along the wall. Couple of Canucks players down. Time will run out, and the Oilers will find a way to be up 2-0 after 1 period of play. What a crazy turn of events here in this first period of play for the Oilers. A well-fought first period from both teams, as that was a wild go so far in this hockey game. And kind of Besser, I don't know if Besser caught a stray off a Desharnais stick or what, but that was a wild go. And friends, this is going to be a fun hockey game, so stay tuned. What I am going to tell you right now, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, do so right now. I'm going to quickly run upstairs, take a brief moment to refill the water bottle, and get right back. But before we do that, I guess possibly we should maybe just maybe recap the goal scoring that we had in that first period of play. Zach Hyman from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Leon Draisaitl, and then Matthias Ekholm, the cannon from the point from Leon Draisaitl. The shots 9-5 for the Oilers after 1 period of play, 15-12 the hits for the Oilers, 9-4 the face-offs for the Vancouver Canucks. We'll be right back to action here in a matter of moments, friends. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Alright friends, with it all said, we should probably check the watch time here in a matter of seconds. But again, for those of you just tuning in, kind of wondering what happened in that first period of play between the Oilers and the Canucks, it is Shilov's getting beat up for 2 goals by Hyman and Matthias Ekholm. Draisaitl picks up 2 assists, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the power play. Absolute dime over to Zach Hyman to open the scoring. 9-5 the shots for the Oilers, 15-12 the hits. And what a first period it was from the Edmonton Oilers, all told, as they really came through with a great effort, and one that I think a lot of Oilers fans can be really proud of early in this series. But now it's a lot about backing it up in period number 2. So we continue along here, friends, where I have to tell you, we're up over 478 hours on the live stream. There is a possibility that by the end of the first period, we will have already crushed the watch time goal. So we'll have to stay tuned to see kind of what happens here as this one rolls along. And friends, for those of you tuning into Game 5 against the LA Kings, previous to coming in the live stream now, yeah, no, glad to have you aboard. And I feel bad for those friends that have also tuned in the Canucks live stream from a few months back. So we are rolling through the intermission here right now. Obviously for the Oilers, Hyman and Matthias Ekholm being the guys that break this one open to a 2-0 score. Obviously not out of reach for Vancouver. With the Oilers in the playoffs, nothing truly is ever out of reach. 2-1 the giveaways for the Canucks, 4-4 the takeaways for both teams, and 4-4 the block shots for both teams after one period of play. Friends, the chat is moving fast here tonight, but glad to see everybody aboard. Scotty, good to see you here this evening, and Joyce is aboard. We've got who else tuning in here that we're missing? Scott, haven't welcomed you aboard. Jack, missed you as well. Paul, saying that Skinner showed up to play. Just give me a sec. I don't know if you can hear that, but the dog is barking. All right, my apologies. And friends, I guess maybe right now I should take a moment. For those of you back home that don't know maybe the story behind the Oilers plaid shirt that I'm wearing right now, I guess to explain it to you simply, Tough Cuff needs to know who scored before we get to the story. It's Hyman and Ekholm. Ekholm with a beauty from the point, and Hyman with a kind of up and over the stick of Ian Cole to the back of the net. Ian Cole is having a very tough game. Banana, welcome aboard as well. James, thank you so much for the kind comments as well. I caught those earlier on. But yeah, we are doing a good job here in this hockey game so far, the Edmonton Oilers are. But the story about the shirt, for those of you wondering, yes, you've seen this shirt already on the live streams in game, what would it have been? Game 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, this is the 4th straight game that I've been wearing this shirt on the Dolynny TV Oilers playoff live streams. Basically doing that superstitious thing, right? Going with the lucky whatever the heck. And I picked up this plaid shirt. It was a little bit of advice from a friend that was actually leaving the country. He said, hey, go down to Foundry at Cross Iron Mill. They've got this sick Oilers plaid shirt that you got to go check out and pick up. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I walked in there and they're like, oh, Oilers fan? And I'm like, yeah, how'd you guess? They're like, well, you want the Oilers plaid? And I'm like, yeah, that's fair enough. And it's not officially Oilers branded, but that's why they ordered it. Is one of their counter workers at Foundry, one of their teammates there, is a huge Oilers fan, and they kind of surprised her by bringing them in. So excellent little story behind this. And now we're hoping that this one continues to roll into another game. Let me tell you, if the Oilers somehow sweep the playoffs, this thing is going to have a fur coat of its own with how much cat hair will be on it. So be interesting to see. Epiphany, glad to have you aboard as well, and JFIP, welcome in. So we're continuing to see everyone here. Jim Rat's even in here. Oh my goodness, we got everybody aboard this evening. Thank you, friends, for hanging out with me once again as we continue in the intermission report. There isn't really much else to report other than Stuart Skinner really stood tall on 5 shots, got a lucky bank off the post from Mikheyev, who just wired it from a foot out and hit the post, and it bounced all the way to the near side point. But the Oilers' big story is power play early because of a too many men mental error by the Vancouver Canucks, and it ends up becoming back of the net goal for the Edmonton Oilers about a minute and a half into the power play that gives us what we are. So yeah, the Edmonton Oilers continue to roll along here in the first period of round 2 from what they were doing in round number 1. Kind of just when they do get in trouble in their own zone, trying to chip out to that neutral zone area on their side of half, but just kind of landed inside the neutral zone, reset at the blue line. So good so far from the Oilers, and we'll continue to see if it improves as we go along this evening. Again, friends, what I will remind you as well, if you haven't hit that like button, make sure to do that here on the stream. We're up over 430 of you aboard this evening, but you want to see it get crazy here this evening at the end of the hockey game. It will anyway, but I will tell you, hit that like button and see what happens by the end of tonight's hockey game. We're up over 15,400 180 of you aboard here on the channel subscribe now, so thank you for that as well. As we are just watching Kevin Bieksa talk on the television set, and then we should be set to get things going. So as well, yeah, we are going to Josh here, who's saying that the first intermission should mean you're grabbing a beverage and getting going with the like and subscribe button. Well, I've already told you that part, but yes, definitely if you haven't grabbed a beverage, you know I'm always going to refill the water bottle in the intermissions, and of course grab yourself a bathroom break at the same time. Sit back. You don't have to sit there and worry about going to the bathroom in the second period. Make sure to go in the first intermission, because we are in for what is going to be a fun second period, one might think. Hey, buddy? Yeah, I don't know if you can see the cat on the live stream. They share the camera's angled a little bit differently, but got my three-legged friend down here hanging out with me, as he's kind of a suck for attention when it comes to me live streaming for some reason, but he looks like he is about set to wander back down. Looks like he wants to bounce, so he is gone. But he'll pester around the shop here for the next little bit, I'm sure. As the Oilers, I mean, that was an impressive first period, right? There was some hairy moments, a breakaway early on in the first period. I think, too, the Oilers kind of coughed up a couple of clearing opportunities against the Canucks, but pretty impressed to see the Oilers do what they did in that first period against the Canucks. That is not what I was expecting, not at all. And for the Oilers to come through with that result, that is pretty well kind of exactly where we're thinking this team's going, is they are really stepping up and stepping forward with what they're capable of doing, as the jumping up and down from the Edmonton Oilers fans inside the moss pit absolutely lit things up. And it's crazy just how many young people are down there at the moss pit. So, man, makes a guy like me feel old knowing that if such a thing was available when I was in college in Edmonton, I would have been all over it. So, pretty crazy to think that it's been that long as well. It's been a long time since I was back in college, and long time to find that. A lot of people would say 20 years, but for me, enough time has passed. We're almost approaching a decade at this point. So let's go here and get some Twitter reaction. I don't think there's anything better than that, as the Canucks had some good chances, but Skinner made a few key stops. Oilers lead 2-0, but they will need to break up the Canucks cycle much better in the final 40. That is where we are at. From Jason Greger after one period of play. A couple tense moments for the Oilers, but an excellent opening period otherwise. That one from Daniel Nugent Bowman. And where else do we have? So, do Leon Draisaitl. This one from Nathan Grav, of course, coming in with the Leon Draisaitl guy has 12 points, and he hasn't even gotten to the second period of the sixth game of the playoffs. This is pretty crazy from Mr. Leon Draisaitl, that's for sure. So the Oilers will look to continue to get things going here in this second period in a matter of moments, as there's a whole bunch of Oilers fans running around inside the plaza showing by Oilers Nation. So we're going here, so we'll see where we go as we are rolling here, friends. Yeah, it's been a long time since the Oilers last won the Cup, but for the Oilers, this playoff run, what I have promised you, if you're a Canucks fan tuning in and it's like, oh, would this guy carry on with the Canucks if the Oilers lost? That's going to be my promise to you. I'll carry on with the Canucks so long as the schedule allows. The only problem is I am committed to the slow pitch team over there in Crossfield, so I got to make sure I'm showing up for the team that, it takes a team effort to win, and obviously when you sign up and you want to be a full-time member, you got to be a full-time member. So they're showing the highlights between the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins, as Game 3 is basically a coin flip between both teams here in that third game. As Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl in the locker room, we are just about set to get things back underway here in period number 2, friends. One last commercial break, and then the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks will renew hostilities in the second period, as we will again quickly check the watch time here this evening, friends, as we continue to roll along. Like I said, there's really not much to mention here. Yeah, not much to mention so far through this first period, other than the Oilers did exactly what they needed to. There's still some icky points in their game, you could say, but they need to definitely show up here in this second and have an even better second period, or we will have a big time trouble. So, friends, when this live stream gets going big time on Dolynny TV, you start seeing folks from all time on Dolynny TV come out of the woodwork. Domster, great to see you in the chat, my old friend. Hope everything is well and everything's going good out there. As friends, we are seeing everybody from all over the time periods on Dolynny TV tuning in this evening. So thank you again for being aboard. This is just making my night, seeing everybody aboard in the evening chat as we go towards this second period. As and what do we got going here? We got Josh, of course, telling me to stop diving. Yeah, I had a little bit of a diving accident there in the weekend game in the final there on the final. Kind of dove and kind of landed funny and jostled my neck a little bit. So we'll see if we can kind of survive that. And of course, Chris, thanks for coming on back. As yeah, this is where we go into this second period now, right? Leon has produced, Zach Hyman's produced, Matthias Ekholm's produced, but to Maximus's point, third and fourth lines maybe due up for the next goal. That would be huge. So, Hockey, welcome aboard as well, as we are just about set to get this one going. We're just watching the Terry Fox Heritage moment on Historica Canada's kind of, whatchamacallit, Heritage Minutes, I guess, what the actual correct term. So, we are just about ready to get things going. CW, welcome aboard, friends. For those of you kind of figuring out what's going on here, maybe we should recap that first period one last time. The commercial breaks are just not ending right now, so I'll take this time to tell you Zach Hyman from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Leon Draisaitl opened the scoring on the power play on a flip up over Mr. Ian Cole's stick, basically a little bit of a flutter puck there from Zach Hyman to open the scoring just 2 minutes and 11 seconds into the first period. Matthias Ekholm from Leon Draisaitl, a beautiful turnover from Ian Cole, back onto the tape of Draisaitl, near side, out of the corner, back to the point. Cannon of a shot from Ekholm to score the goal. 9-5 the shots on goal for the Oilers, 15-12 the hits for the Oilers, 9-4 the face-offs for the Canucks. So if they have any advantage tonight, it is the face-offs, and they need to keep that going. So we'll see where this goes. So yeah, we continue to see the Oilers fans coming in the chat. Glad to see you. As everybody is wondering where to watch live, I'm hearing mixed reviews now in the chat from CBC Gems, either broken or good, but I would definitely check CBC Gem if you are in Canada. If not, Sportsnet would be your bet. So we will see where the Oilers go here in this second period, but first we need to get to the second period. We're still on commercial break and still waiting to get this going. So hopefully the Oilers can find a way to keep that momentum going in this second period. That's going to be the biggest thing, is that was a big time period for the Oilers, and now they got to find a way to really build off of it, or else things are not going to go our way. So here we go, friends. Mr. Elias Pettersson on the bench. He's getting a little bit of a head and shoulders shot inside Rogers Arena. Last 19 games, 1 goal, 10 points, 31 shots. Playoffs, 0 goals, 3 points, and 8 shots on net. So last 19 games include the playoffs. So he's kind of been scuffling here a little bit. So here we go. Green men are back at it inside Rogers Arena. Good to see those guys back. Obviously, they are as famous gets when it comes to being Vancouver Canucks fans. You think about our guys, right, over the years. Too many to count, but obviously the guys that really come to mind, right, like what Ben means to us to some extent in 2011. The Green Men meant that kind of rallying point for the Canucks fans. So, too, as well, Mr. Superfan Magoo. You got Banjo Guy. You got all these fans, right? I think, too, I'm missing one there, McMullet in there. But either way, let's not worry about the Oilers fans, Canucks fans, all over the case. 19:55 to go in this second period, down into the near side corner. The Vancouver Canucks see the Oilers get the puck going inside their own zone. As a nice stick there by Matthias Janmark to keep this going inside the Canucks zone before Tyler Myers fires it over to Evan Bouchard. Turned back over to the Canucks. Suter to the attack here. Back to the blue line for Myers. Dumped down low in behind the net. Besser's back underway. We're 30 seconds into the second period of play. Along the boards, back into the middle of the ice. Janmark's trying to tap this one out. Instead, he takes a healthy run at a Canucks defenseman, but it's kept in by Suter as it comes now near side for Miller, leaving it off at the point. The shot ripped through traffic. Save made Skinner, and we will have a stoppage just 47 seconds into this second period of play. So there you have it. The Oilers getting things going early on with a save from Stuart Skinner, a good shot from Zadorov. But now the Oilers have to take the face-off inside their own zone. 19-13 to go in this second period of play. 10-6 the shots on goal for the Oilers as the face-off to the right of Stuart, or left of Stuart Skinner, won back by the Canucks. The shot from Cole through traffic off the end wall, picked up by Joshua, fired near to the back of the net, and it will be 2-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. Just like that, the Canucks in the first minute get a goal right over to the back of back boards there. It just kind of landed right on the stick of Joshua on the far side post, I guess. And I mean, just a pound of a shot there from Cole. Got the friendly home bounce, and I think that is fair as fair can be. Cole was shooting for that all day, and it just ends up landing near side, and Stuart Skinner couldn't find around where that puck had gone. And just, that is a perfect bounce there from Cole, and the Oilers will have to put that in the memory bank to try and use that same bounce next time around in the third period. Joshua's third of the period is this down the right wing. Shot kicked out by Stuart Skinner. Wraparound opportunities as the Canucks are ready to attack here as Cole and Lindholm get the assist here. Picked up by Ceci. We are in for a game now as this one comes back. Near side cleared out by the Oilers as Drysdale will go chasing inside the Canucks end. Flip back. Neutral zone by the Canucks inside the Oilers end now, picked up by Skinner as Kane will come onto the puck and skate it over the Oilers end. Far side pass is broken up there by Höglander, right in on net, turned back by Kane. Far side wild pass by Höglander over to Hughes, down low for Mikheyev. Mikheyev rolling around down low now for Höglander again as the Canucks forecheck getting to work here inside the first 2 minutes of this second period. Oilers have to weather this storm right here, right now, as this one comes back near side for Höglander. Pass to the middle of the ice, broken up. Fogel's got it. Backhand flip, neutral zone. Back onto the Canucks tape inside their own end. Played up off the right wing boards. Carried forward by the Canucks. Big hit there at the blue line by Derek Ryan. And the Oilers, all that momentum they built up in that second period quickly zapped away through the first 2 minutes of this second period. A tough go here for the Oilers, definitely to start this second. 17:57 to go right here as this will be 10-8 the shots now for the Oilers. The Canucks, as Ace is saying, have woken up, so this one gets going. Outside the Oilers line, picked up by Dylan Holloway off the face-off. Kulak over to Desharnais, back into the neutral as the Oilers enter the Canucks zone. Ryan McLeod, first one to it, chips their shot towards the net. Goes wide, right wing for the Oilers inside the zone. Backhand on Shilovs. Scrambling the crease. Shilovs down on the puck. And it is tied up inside the crease. A whistle down. Perry, Holloway ended up on top of Shilovs. And we will have a stoppage and play with 17:41 to go in this second period of play, friends. I want to mention Toyo right there talking about the AM radio reception is no good out there and might be the only Canucks fan. I will tell you, among 410 of you watching back home, there's no way there's only one Canucks fan tuning in right now, and I'm glad to have you guys aboard, that's for sure. So here we go. Corey Perry, 17:41 to go. Face off to the right side, back to the blue line, now picked up by Bouchard. Shot fired towards the net, goes off the end wall. The Oilers almost cashed in on that home bounce there for the Canucks too, as this one comes back near side as Bluger will fire down in behind to Hronek, tipped out along the wall by the Canucks inside the Oilers zone. Comes back free now for Ekholm, who will fire near side up the boards into the Oilers offensive end. Holloway helped it aboard against Tyler Myers, and then Holloway ties up Myers and Perry knocks over Soucy, and this one continues to just battle down low. The Oilers doing a good job good job doing what he can with the body for both Holloway and Perry. As this one comes back down inside the Oilers zone as Ekholm comes back near side, and it will come out in the neutral zone. Picked up by Myers, who's still out there. Picked up again by Besser. Nice little tip pass onto the tape of Myers. Fired inside the Oilers zone. Stuart Skinner falls down on the puck, and Stuart Skinner has taken a penalty on that one. It will be a power play for the Vancouver Canucks as Stuart Skinner just had his out of the net gaff for the series right there and now. So interesting right there. Skinner, ooh, that is a brain cramp and a half from Skinner to play the puck in the restricted area. Oh boy, all right, buckle up. Canucks power play, first time the Oilers have been shorthanded all series. I mean, hey, hold on. We're just only 24 minutes into the series. But it will be Connor Brown going to serve the penalty for the Oilers. So Connor Brown, the good soldier here, even though Connor Brown's been the penalty killer extraordinaire for the Oilers all year. But I guess working back into the lineup slowly but surely here in the playoffs, as this will be a face-off now for Nugent Hopkins. Delay of game goalie for Stuart Skinner. 2 minutes to go on the power play for playing the puck in the restricted area outside the trapezoid for Mr. Stuart Skinner. Puck won by Petey as he'll go to the far side. Shot fired towards the net. Petey's got the puck again for the Vancouver Canucks. He'll go back to the blue line as Hughes goes across the far side. The shot blocked in front by Besser. It'll be tipped back to the blue line, and Nugent Hopkins reached for it prematurely as the penalty kill in the first round was 12 for 12. The Canucks across the line, and the shot save made by Skinner. Rebound in front, tipped away by the Oilers as this one goes back now to the point as it's picked up by Hughes' far side pass. Canucks getting going here as this one will fire to the middle, tipped out into the neutral zone. 40 seconds bled off the clock here against the Vancouver Canucks with 15:55 to go in the second period. As this one comes up through the middle, is turned back by Ryan McLeod. Canucks too deep back inside their own zone, trying to defend here as this one going inside the Oilers end now to set up the power play for the Canucks. Instead, Fogel's going to lead away shorthanded against Pettersson. Fogel snaps the shot. Shilov's the glove hand save, swiping at it like an old back catcher there, trying to glove it down from center field. 47 seconds to go in the power play here for the Edmonton Oilers as both teams kind of stalemating here on this power play for the Vancouver Canucks. Ceci down low off the boards, got a favorable bounce, swiped the stick away from one of the Canucks players. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Garland bounces it near side, and Miller will see it worked out by Matthias Janmark. One-on-one back the other way. Janmark fakes the slap shot, wrap around, not enough on it, as Janmark will effectively kill off this penalty inside the Canucks zone as a discombobulated play comes back to Shilovs, who will bat it now near side and turn back right in behind the net for Garland. Picked up by Hronik. 4 seconds to go in the Canucks power play, leading ahead through the middle, tipped into the Oilers' end, and that will kill the penalty. The Oilers' penalty kill remains at 100% starting this series as this one comes back inside that near side corner in the Oilers' zone. Picked off by Connor Brown. He's trying to start away. He'll chip up off the boards down low into the Canucks territory, as that's a big little nudge there, I guess, on Hronik that disrupted the play up the middle of the ice. And the Oilers, Kulak, Nurse, back to Kulak. As Kulak will wheel and deal around the zone. Back now to Nurse, near side blue line at the Oilers line. Picked up by Draisaitl. Draisaitl loaded up with McDavid and Hyman. Draisaitl rolling to the middle of the ice. Tries to fake around Di Giuseppe. Instead, turns around the puck back in favor of the Canucks, who just dump it in. 13:48 to go in this second period of play. Back up inside the Canucks zone on the dump. And this is where we're going to get into the low event hockey. You gotta see this. This is going to be picked up now by Hyman. Back to Darnell Nurse. Nurse will fire right ahead through the middle of the ice as that one comes right to Hyman. Hyman beats the icing call. Hyman will go down low now for Draisaitl over to McDavid. Instead it comes to Bouchard. Bouchard fires the shot right in the middle. Now it comes free for the Oilers, and it's tipped out by the Canucks. Last-ditch swipe at it. Back inside the Oilers zone. Icing call there as it kind of bounced off the corner right out of the goal line area. Made it difficult on the linesman. Able to make that call, though. So the Oilers doing a good job here, as that was a big-time penalty stop for the Oilers, as the Canucks got a power play opportunity on a bad play from Skinner, but they were able to bail out their goaltender and get it going. So you like to see it. As Matthias Janmark just about finished off that wraparound as well. So back to the blue line. The Oilers, the shot from Mr. Matthias Ekholm right in front. The rebound off the pads of Shilovs. Down low near side corner. The Oilers keep rolling around the zone as Derek Ryan backhands down low. Free for Holloway. Holloway trying to get it over to McLeod. Can't do it. And it'll be worked back now. Sorry, that was Perry, not Ryan. Getting confused on my numbers again watching on the television, as this one comes back inside the Oilers zone. Ekholm picks up right through the middle. Now Holloway will flip inside the Canucks territory. Picked up by Cole. 12:34 to go in this second period. Canucks rolling up through the middle right onto the tape as they will roll through the neutral zone right straight ahead. I did not think they were going, as this will come back down low to Vinny Desharnais. Far side corner, pokes it ahead. Nugent Hopkins, as Desharnais kind of spun out one of the Canucks players there at the blue line, and he's going to do the same here against Höglander. Instead, it's Nuge that draws contact against Höglander right to the middle of the ice, near side boards. The shot from Hronek, looking for the tip in the slot. Ooh, what a good shot there from the Canucks from the far side boards, trying to catch Stuart Skinner leading, as Dakota Joshua back to the blue line will try and play this one down low for Mikheyev. Over to the far side it comes, poked past Desharnais, right in front Mikheyev, who's been dangerous here so far. Tapped it right in front off the pads of Stuart Skinner. Now Kane right through the middle, trying to get it to the far side. Can't do it, as this will be played ahead by Draisaitl. Tipped back out by the Canucks. Right into possession for Darnell Nurse, and the Oilers and Canucks are just playing end-to-end good stalemate hockey here in this second period of play, as the shots fired in by the Canucks. We are in for a heck of a finish here inside the last 31 and a half minutes to go in this hockey game. And if not, maybe a little bit more. You just never know if the Canucks want to show up in that first few minutes of the third period once again, like they did early on in this second period, as we have gone now down 9 minutes in this second period of play. Tipped back inside the Oilers zone. Darnell Nurse around the boards to the near side, comes back for Nurse, and then it's freed up for McDavid at the high point right wing side. McDavid will just chip in and get the attack going, as McDavid swallowed up quickly by the Canucks defense again. We only have 8 shots through about 10 minutes of play. The shot attempts 26-25 in this hockey game, all told 12-11. The shots on goal for the Edmonton Oilers, as Ekholm into the zone, shot towards Shilovs, save made with 10:32 on the clock, and the game really starting to become a game within a game here in this one, as both teams looking to make that next play that breaks this deadlock, as Mikheyev walked right in front, tried to jam it home on Skinner, but just couldn't do it. Friends, welcome aboard to Dolynny TV. If you're just tuning in, glad to have you aboard. What I will tell you is, if you are new, I want you to hit that subscribe button here on the channel and stay tuned for more Edmonton Oilers live streams as we go along. And with that as well, I'll remind you, if you haven't already hit that like button, make sure to do that here tonight. And then as well, we'll check the watch time now that we're on the old commercial break here. 13,595 times 3. How about that? We have well dummied the 600 goal, 679.75. So friends, I think tonight could be one of those legendary 1,000-hour live streams, one could think. So where are we at? Okay, Buddy says that whoever wins better take the cup for Canada. Playing the puck out of the trapezoid. Cool. There we go. I think we've answered those questions, friends, as we are rolling here tonight towards the end of the second period already. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else we're missing here as we go along? I don't think there is. I think we continue to keep rolling pretty well here, friends. It's been a interesting live stream. I definitely didn't expect 13,673 by the midway point of the second period. But again, like I'm saying, thank you for hanging out. So right now, the shots pretty much dead even. The hits pretty much dead even. The only thing that's different is 13-8, the face-off wins for the Vancouver Canucks. So let's see where we go as this second period gets back underway here, as the Oilers and Canucks set to do battle in the back half of this second period. Rogers Arena getting crazy loud, as this one will hopefully see what goes on. So let's see where we go as the Canucks fans put their glasses back on. The green men get back involved, waving the towels, and here we go. Face off inside the Canucks zone. 10:32 to go in the second. Connor McDavid's out there on the face off. Hyman couldn't punch it ahead, and Matthias Janmark's pretty much spent all his time up there on the top line, as this will be picked up by Skinner to the far side boards. Ekholm bats it along the wall out of the zone again, just like the Oilers do. Just backhanded out, and it looks like Ekholm's tied up with Joshua here. He's got a stick inside his helmet, as Joshua's kind of just on the ice there trying to get this going for Matthias Ekholm. And they will take Joshua's helmet off and give it back to him. He's giving it to Ekholm to some degree here, as he kind of gets the stick up and kind of just hooked inside Joshua's earpiece there on his helmet, sending him to the ice. Tough go there, and we'll see if the Oilers will get a power penalty kill out of this. I don't think they will. That was just a tough event play, as it kind of, I mean, Dakota Joshua's helmet's got the loose earmuffs, so makes sense that that's possible. But Rick Tockett's screaming for a penalty, but can't get it going. As here's now Fogle across the line. McDavid's turned back. Fogle gets a shift with Connor now, and it's Bouchard turning back. JT Miller, as the Canucks top guns haven't looked all that dangerous here so far through the majority of the hockey game. They did show up once to get a goal here early on, as this will be Bouchard in behind his own net over to the middle of the ice. Far side pass goes off a stick, and it will be an icing call, and that will stop it with 9:45 to go in this second period of play, as the Oilers just trying to work through this one, as the Hockey Night in Canada blue suits are talking things over with the cup handler there. They got everybody involved here, as this one will be a face-off now inside the Oilers zone with 9:45 to go in the second period. This game is dulled right down, just as maybe we expected it to, between the Oilers and Canucks, as the Oilers do have to find a way to score another goal here. I don't think 2 is enough to beat the Canucks. Shot off of Skinner, saves made by Mr. Stu, and it comes back near side boards. Oilers lift to the center ice area. Connor McDavid wheeling and dealing. He's beat the defender wide, but Hronek with the last second sticks able to swallow him up. Pass back to the blue line, and it is unable to be corralled by one Brett Kulak, who will wheel and deal back inside his own zone. Far side pass back down low now to Kulak. As 12-12 the shots on goal, the Oilers tip it through center ice. Not actually. The linesman calls that icing, and we will have another stoppage with 9:08 to go in this third period, or second period of play. I'm talking third. As we continue to see the Oilers stalemate with the Canucks in this second period. Yes, the Canucks found a way to score the all-important 2-1 goal, but the Oilers obviously answering right back so far by not allowing another one right now. So this one comes back in behind the net. Darnay, backhand up to the point. Picked up now by Höglander, as this will be off the boards to Perry. He'll chip out and try and get Holloway started, who is getting the wheels turning, but the Canucks fire it back down low to Stuart Skinner. Skinner off the boards over to Darnay now. Holloway plays it back to the point, gets it out of the zone. And this one will be wrapped back inside the Edmonton Oilers zone by the Vancouver Canucks. Near side point picked up by the Canucks, as they will fire a shot, does Zadorov, that tips in front. 8:35 to go, as it'll be Mikheyev picking this one up along the boards again. And this one just battles along the far side wall for Holloway and Hughes. The shot ripped from the point, save made by Stuart Skinner. The calm in his game is just absolutely unbelievable so far through this well, pretty much first 32 minutes as Desharnais skates up and out of the zone, gets a tip and a bounce, and into the Canucks zone it goes. The Oilers do have to at some point start playing inside the Canucks zone again. The Canucks with almost a full minute 15 more puck possession across the line on the net. Save made. Ceci just about put it inside his own net. Shot from the point by the Canucks. Save made by Stuart Skinner as Ceci will pick this one up along the end wall. Free it up for Evander Kane. Kane will flip out to center ice. Cole batted it down with a high stick. Here's Derek Ryan across the line looking to make the play. Back to Ceci. The shot! Fools she loves! 3-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. Cody Ceci scores maybe 4 goals all year and fires it to the back of the net to make it 3-1. She loves having difficulty seeing those point shot bombs from the Oilers blue liners. And oh my goodness, what a shot from Cody Ceci after almost putting it into the Oilers net. Missed the far side post by inches. And then Derek Ryan up the middle of the ice, button hook, spins back, leaves it on a platter for Cody Ceci off a bounce to the back of the net. And Cody Ceci has broken this game back to a 2-goal lead. Like I said, the Oilers needed to make it a 2-goal game, at least find a way to get another one. It's Cody Ceci's first of the playoffs. Down low to Matthias Ekholm inside the zone. Derek Ryan's first assist. JT Miller all alone. Poked away by Stuart Skinner with 7:22 to go. As here's Janmark across the line. He'll tip it in to the Canucks zone as Connor McDavid goes to the far side. Back to the point as it's picked up now by Ekholm. The shot fired back inside the Canucks zone. Soucy with the puck. As Hyman battling Myers just kind of rode out in the corner as Soucy back to the point. Sees it turned back now by Connor McDavid into his own zone for Bouchard. Bouchard near side for Hyman. Hyman down the left wing. The shot loading. Hyman on net. Oh my goodness, it's 4-1. Zach Hyman just fluttered it through Arthur Shelovs, and the Edmonton Oilers are finding a way to get this going here in this hockey game now, late in the second period. 4-1. Trent, I can agree with you. That is a big old yes, sir, for the Edmonton Oilers as Mr. Zach Hyman just flubs it more or less by looks of it. Maybe he meant to do that. I don't think he meant to do that. No, he meant to shoot that higher, but it was a stick tap there by the Canucks defender Tyler Myers. And Shelovs got in between, but my goodness, the Edmonton Oilers up 4-1 here in game number 1, just midway through the second period. Kulak hammers it up off the boards, fired down inside the Canucks zone as this will be a penalty against Leon Draisaitl for a hold against the Canucks defender. And my goodness, the Oilers getting going here early in this hockey game, but now have taken a penalty to once again make it interesting. Sorry, Connor Brown took the penalty as he grabbed on to Quinn Hughes right there and dragged him down to both knees. So we will go to a commercial break, friends, once again. We'll have an opportunity to tell you if you haven't already hit that subscribe button. Definitely make sure to do that here on Dolynny TV. We're about to go into an Oilers penalty kill. If you also haven't hit that like button yet, make sure to do that. And now we'll take a brief moment to quickly check the watch time once more. I know I said the goal has already been hit. Well, let's go quickly check where we're at now. 745 hours on the live stream. So we are well within getting towards that 1,000 mark by the end of the evening, friends. Yeah, that was definitely a tough call there for the Oilers, but now they got to find a way to get the job done here on the penalty kill. But the Oilers penalty kill has been a momentum builder for them as well, so we'll see if that is the case here for the Edmonton Oilers in this one. As we're going to go quickly check. Oh yeah, okay, things are looking good there. Cool. We're going to go Awake. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. As there you have it. We continue on the live stream, and Awake sent the old super chat in, so we'll go commercial free for the rest of the period here. As well, that is my guarantee to you. So We shall do this, friends. The Oilers up 4-1 over top of the Vancouver Canucks in this, what is now second period. This game's zipping by, but yeah, this has been absolutely the game you want to see. And saying thank you so much for hitting the thumbs up. And yeah, we continue to see things rolling here in this second period as we will go for the face-off inside the Oilers zone, as kind of the bars in downtown Edmonton are bumping. I can imagine the bars all across Alberta tonight in the northern side are bumping, as I know in Bonnyville they're definitely hopping this evening as well. I've gotten some updates from inside there. So here we go. Nothing happened to Dry Jim. It is a penalty to Connor Brown. That was my bad, misreading the numbers. This is picked up off the face-off by Quinn Hughes. He'll bat down low to Petey, as it'll be quickly tipped away by Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Nuge will fire up off the boards and inside the Canucks zone with 6:24 to go in this third period of play, and Nugent-Hopkins just absolutely wrecked Quinn Hughes inside his own zone on the power play. Zach Hyman's 9th of the playoffs. Crazy to think, from Bouchard and McDavid. Bouchard's 9th assist, McDavid's 12th, as this across the Oilers line, tipped away just last second, and Quinn Hughes forced to retreat. The Canucks have yet to set up the attack. Now 40 seconds into this power play, right down Main Street. Lindholm's turned away by Stuart Skinner. Puck picked up by Besser. Now to the far side, Pettersson gets the pass over to JT Miller. Miller down low off the end wall, as this will be picked up again by Pettersson. Pettersson trying to get this one to the point for Quinn Hughes. Buck to go in the power play. As this back to the line, Hughes doesn't shoot the puck. Back to the middle of the ice as Mr. Elias Pettersson let it rip, but missed that one wide, and this will be picked up again. Looking for Pettersson, goes up off the netting and out of play with 5:23 to go and 47 seconds remaining in the period. So, and the Edmonton Oilers definitely being the team that is capitalizing on what they can in this period there, Lyndon. And I think for the Oilers in this third period, it's going to be a lot about holding off the Canucks, as I'm sure they will do battle as this hockey game goes along down the stretch. So, last 2 goals, friends, for the Oilers as the puck bobbles out of the zone. Chris, to tell you, it is Cody Ceci and Zach Hyman for the Edmonton Oilers. Cody Ceci scoring a goal. Who would have thought? As this one's across the line, Lindholm back to the point. Here's now Hughes, shot through traffic, bounces up over top of the net. Hometown bounce, not favorable that time for the Canucks, though they corral the puck. Comes back down low to the far side corner, and the Canucks continue to roll around on the power play right in front. Skinner will cover that one up. No, he won't. The Oilers will fire it down the ice instead, all the way into the Canucks zone, as that will be batted down there by Shelovs, who's been shelled for 4 goals so far in this hockey game. Puck picked up by the Canucks across the line. 6 seconds left on the power play, and it will expire inside the Oilers zone. 4:35 to go in the second period. The Oilers power play, or penalty kill, remains perfect, as this one is Garland in the far side corner, the Oilers zone. Shot fired down low to Ryan McLeod, picked up by the Oilers, and it will be tapped out into the neutral zone, icing against the Oilers on a bad play once again. So, tough go right there for the Edmonton Oilers, but with 4:17 to go, they have done exactly what they have needed to do so far in this hockey game, and have killed off 2 penalties, 3 penalties, whatever it is at this point, and they are doing exactly what the Canucks don't want them to do, and that is just keeping them off the board, keeping them to the outside, getting good goaltending from Stuart Skinner. The Canucks now have the shot advantage in this hockey game, by the way. 4:14 to go in this second period. Puck is picked up by Warren Fogle, who will come to the near side boards and stop up inside the Canucks zone. Shot fired through traffic, blocked in front, comes to Kulak, who will bounce off the boards down low, and it'll be forced out by the Canucks back inside the Edmonton Oilers zone. So this one will be Bouchard picking it up on the icing call, actually. So there you have it, as that will be a stoppage in play. So Dakota, welcome aboard to the chat, as we will keep rolling here. And You didn't think the Oilers were going to win. Well, I don't think the Oilers have won yet. That is the big thing we have to be cautious of here. We have to make sure the Oilers win this hockey game. So we still got 23 minutes and 54 seconds to go before that. As Daniel, any update on Drysdale? I didn't know we have an update on Drysdale. Did he get injured? I didn't know that. And King's Rule. Good to see you. You know what? Hopefully for the Vancouver Canucks, it goes about the same way as the LA Kings. If you're an Edmonton Oilers fan, I'll tell you that. This one comes back down low. Hyman playing it down to Connor McDavid. It'll come free and inside the Oilers zone to Matthias Ekholm. 3:36 to go in the second period. I didn't know that Leon Draisaitl got injured. Sorry, I missed something clearly. Ekholm is in behind the Oilers net. 6th career 2-goal playoff game for Zach Hyman. Bounced up off the boards inside Canucks zone. Shilov's with the puck. We'll leave it there for Vancouver. Up the boards it comes free and out of the zone into the middle of the ice. And it'll be picked up now by Cody Ceci. Ceci will bounce off the boards, take a hard charge from Lindholm, who actually sent himself going down to the boards. So this one will come in behind. Shot fired in front, and the Canucks have scored to make it 4-2. Lindholm just tapped it in. Oof, that is tough. That is a tough go right there if you're the Oilers. Just a backhander there in front by Lindholm at the side of the net. Ends up in the back. I want to see what happened here. Is this one, it's just a lost battle there by the Oilers. A weak play by Ceci, and then Lindholm taps it up in off of Skinner somehow, some way. Lindholm just plays it. Oh no. Lindholm played it off the stick of Skinner, and Skinner reacting on that one. Ended up batting it off his stick into the back of the net. That is a tough break, but the Oilers should be able to rebound here. 4-2. Like I said, we still have to win this game to win this game, so we'll see what happens here as this one will be face off at center ice. Nugent Hopkins ties it up, but the Canucks ultimately win it back. Instead, here comes Holloway back the other way, gloved it ahead to himself. Interesting to see as Joshua and Susie pick up the assists, as Joshua continues to have a pretty good playoffs here as this one's fired to the far side. 2:44 to go in this second period. Batted inside the Oilers zone. Goes off the side of the net. Icing call. And this will be a stoppage and play with 2:38 to go. So, interesting. Here we go, friends. We are in a tough spot. The Edmonton Oilers have just given up the goal that restores the 2-goal deficit for the Vancouver Canucks. But this will be face-off won by Zadorov. Down inside the Oilers zone. Icing call once again with 2.5 to go in the second period. 16-14 the shots for the Canucks. We'll have an opportunity to stop up here for a brief moment and recap a commercial break. But we're rolling along here in this hockey game. We're about to get to the intermission in a matter of moments. The Oilers desperately need to just kind of win those battles down low in their own zone. That's really been the only thing that's killed them in this hockey game so far. Down along the boards now inside the Canucks territory, picked up by both teams, fought out by the Canucks, and they will try and transition back the other way, bounce off the boards. Bouchard's got it picked up, and he'll come back inside the Oilers zone for Matthias Ekholm. 2:08 to go in this second period of play. Ekholm down the boards to Kane. I don't know how that's not offside, but sure, as this one comes back inside the Canucks zone, it'll be picked up by Besser. Besser through the middle, tipped up off the stick, and here is Stuart Skinner as Nurse will play it around the near side. Puck picked up. Canucks fire the shot, blocked in front by Nurse. That was a huge stop as the Oilers just about gaffed again and gave the Canucks a golden opportunity as Miller passes it right to the middle, and Darnell Nurse with a diving play on both feet to keep that one open from the middle of the ice. I'd like to once again say thank you to Awake for donating here on the stream to obviously keep us commercial free throughout this second period. So friends, like I said, every late inside the last commercial break of the second period is usually when I will send you a commercial break. But right now, friends, as we continue on here, We're going to quickly check the watch time one more time as we continue to roll towards that 10,000 number here tonight. As 1.1, yeah, I guess so. That would be that. We're up over 804, so we're closing in on this as we'll see where we go. So, yeah, the Oilers obviously need to find a way to stop bleeding those goals down low, but hopefully they learn from that and kind of figure out what's happening in Vancouver and get this sorted. So, Zach Hyman with 2 goals for the Edmonton Oilers, CC, and of course Matthias Ekholm with the other ones. Hyman from Bouchard and McDavid, CC from Derek Ryan and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So Nuge with a 2-assist game. You love to see that. So, all right. Well, where else are we going? Is there anything else to make mention of here? I think we are pretty well covered, as it seems like Zach Hyman is getting a whole lot of plays on the old YouTube right now. That Game 4 overtime goal against the LA Kings. A bunch of people tuning into that on the shorts feed. Is this one showing the Oilers bench here? Is Draisaitl getting out there, testing it out, feeling it out? He doesn't really feel the greatest, as something is wrong with Draisaitl. He headed down the tunnel. They're talking things over, trying to cover the lips. Novak trying to figure it out. Connor McDavid without his buddy Leon Draisaitl. $1:45 to go in this second period. So Leon Draisaitl aggravated something. We'll get an intermission update. That much is for sure, I'm betting on. So Miller in the face-off dot against Nugent-Hopkins. Face-off inside the Oilers zone. Now down, 1 back by Nugent-Hopkins. Picked up now by the Oilers. Fired out into the neutral zone territory as Hughes will fire it off the boards to the far side. And the Canucks try to get inside the Oilers zone. Another Canucks player upended there by the Oilers, and it'll be fired back inside the Canucks zone. McLeod beats the icing call. He will bat it off the wall back to the point, turn it over to the Canucks. Besser tries to play it in front. Back the other way, it comes across the line. Besser again to the far side for Miller, as that'll be Fogle out dueling Miller along the wall, back to the middle of the ice and freed up into the Canucks territory once again, icing against the Edmonton Oilers. No, we will have an icing call. Nugent-Hopkins has got his helmet off. Still not a lick of gray hair in that man's hair. So you like to see that with a $1:04 to go in this second period of play, friends. We continue to roll on here in this second period, as this is just winding right. The Oilers and Canucks, I mean, it's a 4-2 game. Might be the highest scoring game of the series, all told, but it's pretty low event hockey out there. 16-14 the shots on goal inside the last minute of play here in the second period. Puck played towards the front by the Canucks, can't get it through as McLeod battling down low will fire it to the far side, now picked up by CC to the middle of the ice, fired in off a stick, and then it'll go to Hughes, who maybe tried to bait the icing, couldn't quite do it, and back the other way now, picked up by Hughes again as he crosses into the neutral zone, dumps into the Oilers zone. 30 seconds to go in the second period of play. 16-14, the shots on goal. McDavid leads ahead. Can't punch it through the neutral, and it'll be fired back inside the Oilers territory. Desharnais flubs on the rim attempt, and now Perry with the puck will backhand down low to Mr. Desharnais with 15 seconds to go in the second period of play. Played ahead by Kulak, and this will go down into the near side boards through the Canucks zone, neutral, and done. We head to the second period intermission. This one could be a fun third period, Josh is saying. I will tell you, Josh, I think you're correct, my friend. We are in for a good time here, so we'll stay tuned in a matter of moments. So, Trent, as everybody, take a breath. We'll be back. I'm going to quickly go run and take a bathroom break. That's the problem with drinking all this water. Eventually, you need the water. You need to refill the water and you need a bathroom break. I'll be right back. All right, friends, after 2 periods of play, the Edmonton Oilers lead 4-2, and what a day it has been. As an Edmonton Oilers fan, obviously, all the nerves, everything, it's kind of settled up so far, and the Oilers look forward to trying to bring home what is going to be Game 1 in Vancouver. So, we'll see where we go here right now, but obviously, this one will be, this will be interesting to see where the Oilers go after giving up 2 bounces off the back of the net kind of deal, right? And wall kind of situation kind of around there. So hopefully the Oilers have figured it out and start defending down low just a little bit more. So let's recap the goal scoring in this hockey game after 2 periods of play. Zach Hyman from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Leon Draisaitl. Matthias Ekholm from Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl then goes MIA in the second period because he's hurt or something. And then it's Dakota Joshua from Ian Cole and Elias Lindholm. And then it's Cody Ceci from Derek Ryan and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So Draisaitl, Nuge, Hyman, who scores the next goal, all 2-point nights. Hyman, his second goal of the night from Bouchard and Connor McDavid. So the defensemen getting activated in the game. 3 points from defenders this evening for the Oilers. And all of a sudden, it was then Elias Lindholm from Dakota Joshua and Carson Soucy down low scoring that goal. So, all right. Here we go, friends. We are talking to Leon Draisaitl on the bench there with TD4s. Looks like Draisaitl might have hurt something somewhere in the core. They're trying to work it out. Maybe a pinched muscle or something that just kind of will take a moment to work out. For Leon Draisaitl, who tried to take a shift on the ice, just couldn't quite get the stride off, decided to peel back for the line change as the Oilers went back the other way. So Draisaitl's status up in the air to some degree here, but the Oilers do need to figure out kind of what happens next if Leon Draisaitl is injured. I don't know who you'd put in, but hopefully Leon Draisaitl comes back healthy, ready to rock and roll, and we are good to keep this period obviously going in this third period in a positive direction. So we are rolling into the point of the live stream where my nose gets itchy for some reason because I touched the cat when I was upstairs. You know how that goes. 14-13 the shots officially credited to the Vancouver Canucks. 21-20 the hits for the Canucks. 20-15 the face-offs for the Canucks. And 3-2 the giveaways for the Canucks. 7-6 the takeaways for the Oilers, 11-6 the block shots for the Oilers. So the Canucks have definitely had their own game tonight, and hopefully it all comes together this evening in favor of the Oilers, despite the good efforts from the Vancouver Canucks. So, all right, here we go. Is there anything else we're missing? I don't really think there is. I think we're pretty well set. This game's obviously had no immense storylines, right? Nothing crazy so far. We could go check old Twitter machine to see if there's anything. 10-second, basically hopped over the boards. Draisaitl's last shift. So Mr. Leon Draisaitl might have had something bugging him earlier. This is a tough go for the Oilers, who are losing faceoffs and losing Leon Draisaitl. So be interesting to see what happens here going in this third period if the Vancouver Canucks are going to see a Leon Draisaitl-less Edmonton Oilers. So Canucks get a lucky bounce. This from Jason Gregor goes in. Oilers had fortuitous bounce go their way on Ceci's shot that went in off Cole. 4-2 for the Oilers. But the major story of the second is health of Leon Draisaitl, left early in the period and hasn't returned. So, oh boy. So, be interesting to see if Leon Draisaitl does return, or if the Oilers have lost Draisaitl for the remainder of the hockey game. That we'll stay tuned for as we continue along here tonight, friends. I think as we go here quickly, just to look at the watch time once again, we are up over 887 hours. So my goodness, we've spent a lot of time together this evening. Nation, welcome aboard. As you like how the Oilers have been playing tonight so far. Well, the Oilers have definitely done exactly what they did against LA. Played a sound, solid game that really minimizes chances against, I guess you could say, and that's what's been working in the playoffs so far, and it continues to work here against the Vancouver Canucks early on in this series. But the Oilers definitely need to find a way to continue to more or less keep the Canucks from getting in their zone and beating them down. That's for sure. So, yeah, and as simple saying, hold the fort in the third period. That is going to be the most important thing for the Oilers here this evening. Is just, you've built a lead after 2 periods play. If you can hold it, it's going to do so many good things for the mentality going into game number 2. So we continue along here, friends. Unfortunately, those folks that are looking for the live stream here continue to find the live stream from the Oilers Canucks way back when. And is there anything else? I think there is. I think we're good. So yeah, I think we're rolling along, and yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. This one, 4:54 to go in this second period. They're showing the Oilers clearing off the boards out to Chalot. Yeah, I don't think there's anything really to mention. I know the health of Leon Draisaitl continues to be the biggest concern here, friends. Everybody, all the Canucks fans are calling for Kevin Bieksa to suit up and take Ian Cole's spot for the third period. That's it's definitely something to see. I don't think there's anything else really meant here. Yeah, I really think we're doing just fine. So yeah, we're good to go. As Aaron Ward loved yeah, I think we're fine. So, all right, friends, we'll continue on here as we'll go recap the goal scorers again. This is just kind of confusing how they're running the intermissions and stuff with the extra desk, and throwing my brain for the loop. And of course, being up early this morning has scrambled me enough. We just got to survive one more period of hockey. Zach Hyman, Matthias Ekholm, Dakota Joshua, Cody Ceci, Zach Hyman, Elias Lindholm, your goal scorers. And to say again, Stuart Skinner has been phenomenal in this hockey game. He's kicked out some really important saves, so you got to hope he continues to do that here. And well, we'll see what the Oilers can figure out for this third period, because it is going to be a very, very important third period, one might think, because if the Canucks get a glimmer of hope, a glimmer of hope to start the third period like they did in that second period, we are going to be in trouble. Cat's making all kinds of noise. Come on, man. What are you doing? Where are you going? Where are you going? Oh, you come with me. You come with me. Yeah, you come with me, bud. All right, come sit down. Stop making noise. All right. Friends, we are probably about 5 minutes, 5 minutes away from getting this third period underway, as it would be nice to see the Oilers close this one out, right? That's the big part. The Oilers have to find a way to close out this hockey game, or else this effort so far has been for naught. And you don't want to see the Oilers waste a 4-goal effort against the Vancouver Canucks in Game 1 in the third period. So the shot's now officially credited 14-14, and we'll see where this goes from here, as they're showing, of course, the heritage minute of Mr. Terry Fox from back in the day, as this will be a whole bunch of footage from then. That's obviously a special place in any Canadian kid's heart. Obviously, Terry Fox Day was always a big day in Canadian schools, in Alberta, especially back home in northeastern Alberta, as we will go quickly check this. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to go. Yeah, so apparently nothing apparent for Leon Draisaitl on his shift, so unless he just twisted himself up inside of his equipment, maybe he got something stuck and jammed himself. You just never know. as we will look to get back inside the studio here for game number 1. Oilers fans and Canucks fans squaring up for the camera inside Rogers Arena tonight. And we are going to see Draisaitl get pushed there from behind. That one looks like the possibility as Draisaitl kind of got the arm jammed into the middle back by Tyler Myers. They're replaying this a lot as Myers kind of, and you see Draisaitl's top shoulders snap a little bit. That might be the play that more or less might have knocked the wind out of Draisaitl, or else might have shook up the equipment and jammed him, who knows. But now we got the highlights from the PWHL from Toronto over top of Minnesota, as Minnesota obviously didn't have a very good night. It was a tough go, 4-0. Toronto leads Minnesota in their series now 1-0. So we continue on here in the intermission. We get one last commercial break, and then we will go into hockey time for the Oilers and Canucks here, friends, as it looks like we've got things going. Yeah, we're good. As we've got a whole bunch of friends down at EST's Hangout at Hudson's Bourbon Street. And that is all we got. So, all right, we continue to roll, but I think now we know what's going on with Dry. I think he'll be just fine. Smurfy, missed you earlier on. Jackie, welcome in as well, as we are about set to get this third period underway in sometime, a matter of moments, I'm sure. We'll get close to it here. Don't you worry. As the Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks set to renew hostilities here for the third period. Obviously not really a physical match so far in this game, but I assume now the Oilers might start getting on the body a bit more in this third period and really try to wear down the Canucks for the rest of the hockey game and really put forward what needs to be the effort to win this series. As we continue along, and I really don't see anything that we're missing in the background. Normally on Twitter there's something that we're missing, but I think right now after the second period, the Canucks now officially credited with a 16-14 shot lead, the Oilers with a 22-21 hit lead. The Canucks out face-offing the Oilers 23-13, but other than that they've got the block shot advantage, so we're good here. So we should be ready to get towards this third period in a matter of moments, and then we're good to go. As I will tell you, I'm with Magic and Art when it comes to Mr. Zach Hyman getting more goals than Austin Matthews, and obviously in the playoffs so far, Zach Hyman has been an incredible goal scorer for the Edmonton Oilers. So again, we'll quickly check the watch time, friends, as these commercials are really just killing me. I want to just really get to hockey here and finish this hockey game off, because the longer we wait, the more that could possibly go wrong for the Edmonton Oilers, as we are now up over 930 hours on the stream. So thank you so much for being aboard, friends. We are just about to get this going for this third period, one might think. They've got the commercial breaks still going here. And now still rolling. So, okay. What else can we glean from the score sheet? If you're just tuning in or tuning back in, wondering what happened in that second period of play, I'll tell you. Zach Hyman, Matthias Ekholm scored in the first. Then it was Joshua, Ceci, Hyman, Lindholm in that second period of play. So the Oilers definitely got the goal scoring they needed in that second, but the Vancouver Canucks kind of kept it right where it was. The Oilers were up 4-1 at a point, but the Lindholm marker from Joshua and Ceci ends up putting us back to 4-2. So now the Oilers really have to step forward and find a way to get this job done here in this third period of play. So, you are loving the love, little buddy. My goodness, the cat is loving the scratches in the chair tonight, as I think we shall have some more stuff. So, to Shaq, thanks for the support for Mr. Zach Hyman. Draisaitl back on the ice, staying on the bench. Exhale. Good to see. Draisaitl has returned for the third period. So Leon Draisaitl ready to rock and roll as we are back out there and about set to get things going for this third period of play. At long last, the Edmonton Oilers, the Vancouver Canucks, ready to kick butt in the third period of play. Shall we do it? We shall. As the Oilers, Zach Hyman scoring 2 goals tonight, and obviously trying to help his team to the, Game 1 victory, as we are just about set to get Game 1's third period back underway. Rogers' stats after 40. This is where it gets kind of dirty for the Oilers. Things probably aren't going to look as good. Slot shots for the Canucks, 10-5. High danger scoring chances, 5-1 for the Canucks. 7-2 the shot chances for the Canucks, 5-2 the odd man rushes for the Canucks. Yikes. Oh boy. All right, Tim. Good evening to you. Glad to have you aboard. And we are set to get this one here in this third period of play. Leon Draisaitl's back on the bench. He looks game-faced, ready to go. So obviously just kind of got knocked around. Something in the gear poked him in the chest by the looks of it. And face-off is set at center ice. Miller against McDavid in the face-off dot. McDavid wins it back. Tapped there by Matthias Janmark. Puck back now through the middle for Janmark. Fired into the Canucks zone. Turned back by Vancouver. And here's now again Hyman. The shot fired up off a stick out of play just 14 seconds in to this third period of play. 19:46 to go as we are just back underway. Recorded 4+ goals in 5 of last 6 games have the Edmonton Oilers. Interesting as we'll see where it leaves us here after Game 1. For Connor McDavid and Mr. JT Miller, the face-off won back by Miller. Shot fired through the middle of the ice, right up onto the tape of McDavid, cutting it off at the blue line, loading up Zach Hyman inside the Vancouver Canucks zone. Hyman bumps Susie. Janmark comes onto the puck there for a brief moment. It will be iced down inside the Oilers zone, and Mr. Stuart Skinner had to do a good job duck and dodging that puck, coming right off the boards in front. And now we will have an opportunity for one might think Mr. Leon Draisaitl to get back on the ice here for the Edmonton Oilers, as he will take the face off to the right of our, no, it'll be Mr. Ryan McLeod, never mind. I thought it was going to be Leon Draisaitl following, but that's okay. Face off between McLeod and Miller, 24-14 the face offs. Miller wins the face off along the boards as the Oilers tie up their Kane, Perry, and McLeod, and this will be lifted ahead now by Susie along the left wing through to the far side for Miller. Miller will get inside the Oilers zone. The shot from the point by Zadorov turned aside by Mr. Stuart Skinner. Back the other way now, picked up by the Oilers across the line. Fired in by Nurse. He's going to come down low inside the Canucks zone. Plays along the Kane far side. Picked up again by Garland. He's spun off the puck there by the Oilers. And this will be fired off of a body by the Oilers and then played down in behind the net. As the Oilers again are starting to waste time inside both sides of the ice. Here's Fogle onside. Shot from Kane. Goes up out of play. And we will have a stoppage here. No, we will play on actually. As Fogle goes, as Draisaitl's back on the ice, slowly moving out there. He'll pick up the puck and go back near side, tapping it inside the zone. In behind, picked up by Hronek. Hronek through to Pettersson, over to Hughes. Hughes will go up the boards and play it down off a tip, down to Stuart Skinner. Skinner doesn't bobble this one too bad, although plays it right to the Vancouver Canucks. As Hughes will pick this one up near side point, fire across to Hronek. The shot blocked in front. Tips through still, and it's Warren Fogle having to play this one up off the boards as Leon Draisaitl trying to get going back mid-game. Just takes a do-nothing shift as this will be picked up now through the middle again by the Canucks into the Oilers zone. Pettersson tipped in and will be fired back into the Canucks zone, and my goodness, this is paint drying hockey to begin this third period of play. Canucks 17-14, the shots on goal. But hey, for the Oilers, if they want to win this way, they want to win this style, we're going to take it. They have scored 4 goals tonight, don't you forget. Across the line, Derek Ryan onto the tape of Connor Brown. Backhand towards the net goes wide. We have killed 2 minutes and 45 seconds of this third period. No icing up coming against the Vancouver Canucks. Darnell Nurse will turn over the corner. Back off the boards into the neutral zone. Tip back towards Stuart Skinner, who will leave it there, an icing call against the Vancouver Canucks. So we have a stoppage in play. All right. You have it right there. The Oilers and Canucks, not much going here in this third period. We have killed off 3 minutes exactly. Pettersson with 2 shots and 3 attempts tonight. So he's kind of climbed up to 10 shots. 17 minutes to go in this third period. Referees, linesmen talking things over with the Vancouver Canucks, sending JT Miller back to the bench here. So Oilers get a break. It won't be Miller in the face-off dot. Mark, Chris, welcome back in as we get things going for a face-off inside the Canucks zone. Miller's waved back onto the bench. The referees trying to figure everything out last second here. As Suter, Zadorov, and everybody's on the ice here for the Canucks. Janmark, McDavid, Hyman, Ekholm, Bouchard on the ice for the Oilers against JT Miller. Face-off will be redone with Janmark coming in. It was Miller's 58.5 face-off win percentage leading the Canucks in round number 1. Puck's fired around in the near side boards. The Oilers pick it up though immediately, and they are offside. Hand pass. What? I'm not sure what's going on here, but Connor McDavid's wheeling and dealing around the zone, trying to wonder the same thing as Mattias Ekholm skates back to the neutral zone here. We'll have a slow stoppage in play. Connor McDavid coming back. This is skating around trying to figure out what's going on as well. As well have the face-off at center ice. Not sure what the stoppage was there. As McDavid, Miller take the draw as McDavid wins it all the way back to Stuart Skinner. 16:50 to go in this third period of play. Bouchard to the far side, picked up and through the middle of the ice, fired in by the Oilers. And it'll be Silvas playing this puck to the near side for Zach Hyman. Hyman spinning off a couple of checks through traffic, backhanding to the boards for Bouchard. High point, fired to the far side. Ekholm tipped down by the Canucks. And a jam shot there from the Oilers. Almost was able to fool Shilovs. The shot again towards the near side boards as McDavid sees this one go back to the point for Ekholm. Playing it down low to Mr. Mattias Janmark. He's taken down, kind of spun and fell down, and Ekholm can't hold the line. 16:08 to go in this third period to play. Hughes through the middle, down low to Mr. Stuart Skinner. Plays the puck off the stick. Oilers just stalemating here. This is just hard to watch hockey. Stuart Skinner catches the fly ball pop-up. And it'll be Mattias Ekholm with the puck coming back the other way. This is slow, sluggish, beat you down, meaningless hockey here for the Oilers. Up 2 goals, they are just slugging it out with the Canucks, keeping them off balance here as Fogel's in behind the net, stole it away. Nugent Hopkins down low, back to the point. Shot from Desharnais up off the blocker, Shilovs. And it comes to the far side boards, and it'll be picked up and fired back by the Oilers down low into the Canucks zone as Fogel can't spin it off, and neither team really is handling the puck all that well here as this one comes back into the middle of the ice, picked up by the Canucks, picked up by the Oilers. 45-33 the shot attempts, and the shots on goal are 18-14 for the Canucks. Oh boy, this has been a tough game to watch here after the middle part of that second period where the Oilers went up 4-1. But it's for a good reason. The Oilers slow it down and just start winding down clock. And now all of a sudden you've got 14:45 to go in this third period. Played ahead by the Oilers. McLeod, first one to it against Zadorov, tied him up, and the Oilers again freed up to the near side boards. As this one comes back, the middle picked up by the Oilers, back the other way come the Canucks. Shot fired off of Stuart Skinner. He blockers it away off the tape of Lindholm right in front. The Canucks jamming in front again, but the Oilers are able to jam it out into the neutral zone. The Canucks, Cole fires it to the far side boards, and for Cole, it's been a rough game so far, and the Oilers are hoping that continues as the series goes along. As this one comes up through the middle, picked up by Skinner again. Skinner will skate the zone and then get to the far side boards. Canucks to the near side for Hughes. Hughes will wheel and deal around. Shot fired up off the blocker of Stuart Skinner. He's calling for something there. It'll be back down inside the Canucks zone, icing as time continues to wind down. But the hockey is just, I mean, not bad. It's just not exactly what you're used to as an Edmonton Oilers fan, I guess you could say. Wow, this is wild to see, really, that the Oilers over the past 3 playoff games have really just committed to low event hockey. They get the goals they need and then sit on it and do a good job of it. 20-14, the shots on goal for the Canucks, as this will be played ahead by Brown, chipped into the Canucks zone. And if the Canucks don't do something here to create offense in the middle part of this third period, they are going to be done. So this one comes wheeling and dealing around. Miller wheeling in his own zone, slowly moving through the neutral zone. Picked up by Suter, tapped away off his stick by Ekholm. Bouchard tries to fire it. Turnover there, the shot by Miller as the hiccups return. Fired back down low off the miss by Hronek. And it'll be fired back into the neutral zone. Picked up now by Hyman across to McDavid. McDavid bumped off the puck, trying to get it free, can't do it. And the Oilers will pick it up once again to the blue line. Desharnais, the tip through traffic, goes up over top of the net. McDavid tries to feed Janmark, can't do it. And this will be fired towards the Oilers' net. It goes wide into the corner, and Desharnais will pick it up. And there we go. Hopefully we've solved the hiccups again, as here comes Draisaitl. Inside the Canucks zone, Draisaitl tried to seal the near side wall. Instead, the Canucks go far side, and it's CC battling it at the blue line, picking it up. And this one will be wheeling and dealing around the neutral zone as the Oilers play on here, as this is definitely just kind of really winding down. I think this third period has been interesting, but Draisaitl is heading to the box, or is Zadorov heading to the box? Zadorov is heading to the box, so the Oilers will get a power play here. Hold the phone as Draisaitl gets hit there by Zadorov a couple of times, whacked, and then Draisaitl kind of takes a whack at him. So I don't know if Draisaitl and Zadorov are going off, but both players kind of taking some healthy whacks. Verdon, welcome aboard. Glad to see you in the chat as we continue into the late stages of this period. And yeah, this game has been interesting thus far. So let's go here. That is on point. I just got a text message from someone saying when a guy at the bar says you look the best you've ever looked, but it's not because you look good, it's because you're wearing an Oilers sweater. Oof, oof. Backhanded compliments for the wins come playoff time. Friends, we're about to bring this game home. It's 4-2 with just over 12 minutes to go in the third period of play. I want to remind you again, if you've been tuned along, I've been staggering a little bit in the play-by-play just because the game slowed down so much. But if you're new to the channel, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. We were closing in this evening on 15,500. And if all goes according to plan tonight, by the end of it, we will have that 15,492 in this live stream so far. So we are just about to that 15.5 mark. So thank you again for that. And as well, if you haven't hit that like button on the stream, make sure to do that. And with that, we are back to action here for this, well, what is now third period middle frame. So Chris Cuthbert, Craig Simpson, our play-by-play duo for tonight's hockey game and for the series. So keep that in mind there, as we will go 4-on-4 here tonight, as Derek's cheering for Kane to please get a point, as we'll see where we go. As yeah, this has been what it's been so far. Zadorov in the box, chugging that body armor, as the green men getting in on Leon Draisaitl a little bit here. They got the shades going, as we'll have the face-off inside the neutral zone. No, it looks like it'll be inside the Canucks zone. 4-on-4. As we'll skate Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman out there, the duo 4-on-4, picking it up. Miller off the face-off, almost onto the tape of, I think, Hronek far side. I don't actually know who's along the boards there. But this will be picked up now by Bouchard. Bouchard taps over to McDavid down the gut. Oh, just stolen off the stick there and then tapped in behind the net. I thought McDavid was going to have a clear-cut breakaway. Instead, the Canucks force it out of the zone. Half a minute gone in the 4-on-4. And time will wind down preciously here for the Oilers if they just keep skating around. 4-on-4, $1:24 to go as things continue to wind down. 11:22 on the clock as the puck through the middle, skated on there by McLeod, who just about got dummied. This one comes back to the near side boards. The Canucks will see Garland absolutely manhandled by Nugent Hopkins. Shot in front, Nuge just put it wide by Shilov's near side. That was a great pass by Ryan McLeod to find Nugent Hopkins wide open, as this one continues to go up the middle now for Hughes. 52 seconds left on the 4-on-4, as this one is just slow hockey. I mean, friends, I have not seen such a slow game in a long while, but Elias Lindholm's going to wind it ahead. I think it's Elias Lindholm. I keep messing that up. As this one comes back through the middle, as it'll be punched out by the Oilers. No, held in by the Canucks as they look to make the play towards the middle. Instead, it'll be right there as this one shot picked up by the Canucks down low, tipped back of the net. And JT Miller makes it 4-3 for the Vancouver Canucks. The Edmonton Oilers still lead, but the Oilers now in a precarious situation similar to the one they found themselves in against the LA Kings closing out the series. We are suddenly in for a finish. Nugent Hopkins hit it off the post. Shilovs didn't know where that puck was going. And this one just a tough bounce right there. A good pass, and what a tip there from Miller, getting it to the back of the net. And just a really good play right there by Miller. Just kind of found the short side corner on Stuart Skinner. And now all of a sudden, let's get to work here, guys. We got 21 seconds to go in the 4-on-4, and the Edmonton Oilers need a response. Second in the playoffs for JT Miller, as this will be picked up by the Oilers off the face-off. Besser, Soucy get the assist, and Desharnais leads ahead. 9 seconds to go in the power play, or 4-on-4. I keep messing that up. As the Canucks see this one worked off the boards, as Nugent Hopkins will fire down, turnover to Pettersson. Pettersson back the other way. Draisaitl across the line, picked up by Nugent Hopkins. Nuge will look to make the play through the neutral zone. Again, the Oilers can play this two ways. Go out there and get the next goal, or just simply wind down the clock through the middle part of this period, and then about that 5-minute mark, try and get this going. As this is picked up, a tripping call not upcoming to Dylan Holloway. Took the feet out of the Vancouver Canucks defender, as Holloway will skate across the line, and we'll have a stoppage in play here with the referees holding their hands up in the air. And we have all kinds of pandemonium as the Canucks fans are going nuts here for their team. As Dylan Holloway looks to maybe have taken a penalty here. And we will go to a commercial break. So we will see where we head here, friends. This is going to be interesting. So Stephanie, the game is in Vancouver. That is the thing. The Vancouver Canucks have home ice in this series. So Game 7, if it happened, would be on the Canucks ice. But for the Oilers right now, they need to find a way to stop what is starting to be a rising tide of Canucks momentum here. Obviously, the Oilers kind of took a dumb penalty right after making it 4-1. I argue if it's one of those penalties that wasn't supposed to be called anyway, but kind of where we're at right now, friends. We're up over 1,000 hours watched on the stream as well, so we're ready to finish things off this evening. Again, we're on commercial break, so I will once again tell you, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, to do that. Would appreciate you being aboard as we cross 15,500 tonight, and as well at the same rate, 216 likes on the stream. I'm sure we can hit 250 by the end of the night. So we continue towards the end of this hockey game. The game now all of a sudden has gotten interesting. Obviously, RNH missed one just wide of the net, hitting the post on what would have been an easy bang for the Edmonton Oilers. So tough go if the Canucks did score, and now we'll see where we go. So we'll see what happens now as we go to the GMC Top Performer of the Hockey Game, as the award handed out to one Zach Hyman, as it usually is come playoff time for the Oilers. Zach Hyman, just that kind of beauty that his game translates so well to the NHL playoffs, and he's not afraid to put pucks towards the net in the playoffs, and obviously that's why he has 2 of the 4 goals for the Oilers on 14 shots all told in this hockey game. 9:37 to go. The Oilers penalty kill will get tested here on this power play for the Vancouver Canucks. They win the draw. Near side pass over to the shot for Hughes as it goes through the middle of the ice. 8:97 on the clock as this one comes near side. 9:23 to go in this third period of play. 4-3 the score for the Canucks, or for the Oilers over top of the Canucks. Far side boards picked up. The nerves are starting to set back in, friends. If I start flubbing words, trust me, the nerves are starting to hit as much of a calm demeanor as I'm trying to keep. As Hughes near side to Miller. The shot fired off the shoulder of Stuart Skinner, picked up. Matthias Ekholm will hammer it down the boards and all the way down low to Shelovs, who will leave it there for Hughes, spinning off of McLeod twice over. $1:10 to go in this power play here, picked up by Ceci. Off the boards it comes free for the Canucks, back to the blue line. Pettersson plays it down low to Hughes. Hughes goes back up off the boards, corralled there by Besser. Far side, the shot loads. Glove hand save for Stuart Skinner right there. So you have it right like that. So the Oilers get the job done with 56 seconds to go. A save from their goaltender, Stuart Skinner. So you like to see it, Wolf. No worries there for all of you back home. No worries. So let's get this done. Kings rules back in here. Of course, you know, usually good things happen when Kings is around. So 8:33 to go in this third period play. 56 seconds to go. The Oilers without a shot in this third period of play. Let's do this. Face off inside the Oilers zone. Scrambled up by the Canucks. One back to the point as they'll work to the near side for Miller. Miller will roll down the wall and back to the point for Hughes. Far side pass. The Canucks continue to roll around inside the Oilers zone. Hughes has a bobble off his stick. The Oilers kick it out of their zone. 38 seconds to go in this power play. 35 seconds now as the Oilers bat it back inside the Canucks zone. 30 seconds remains in the penalty kill as the Oilers continue to try their best to get this job done. Near side pass now for Pettersson through the middle of the ice. Turns back as Hughes will roll up the middle near side to Miller. Miller batting down low for Pettersson. Or is that for Hughes, actually? Might be Hughes. But instead, the Oilers are able to get a lucky bounce to the far side point. Canucks clear the zone. 5 seconds to go in the power play, and this will be near side. Picked up by Miller, and the power play is over. The Oilers penalty kill still perfect on the playoffs. What an effort yet again in a clutch moment of the hockey game. 7:30 to go in the hockey game with the third period winding down. The Oilers desperately need to get a couple shots on net here. They did hit a post in this third period as winding up the boards as Zach Hyman down the wall. Hyman to the front of the net. Can't get it through, and then the return pass no good, but a pick up there by the Oilers at the blue line allows them to maintain possession here as McDavid will roll through the zone. The pass fired out by the Canucks. They were yelling for a gloved play. Shot towards the Canucks zone there by the Oilers. Goes off the end wall. Myers is able to bat it up along the wall as McDavid tries to scoop this one away from the Canucks. But 6:48 to go in this third period of play. Puck picked up by Bouchard. 6:40 to go in this third period. Bouchard will roll this one up the wall. Picked up by Perry around to the far side. As this goes along the end wall as Kane will wrap this one around. He is denied by Zadorov. That is a couple of good chances in front that the Oilers just haven't been able to buy the handle on. Höglander up off the wall. Here's Blueger down the near side boards. Blueger back to the point. The shot from Zadorov pounded it home. And we are tied at 4 apiece. The Oilers collapsing in the third period and have given up the 4-2 lead to make it 4-4. The Canucks coming in waves, as the Oilers have just turned on a dime here in this third period and given up a 4-2 lead entering. And like I said, they needed to not give the Canucks a glimmer of hope in that third period, and they just sat around. I mean, there is something to be said for killing clock, but you got to get a couple of opportunities along the way as well. And Zadorov pumps one home to the back of the net, and the Canucks have made it a real hockey game now, as that one goes cleanly through 3 Oilers bodies. Zadorov just absolutely hammered it, and now all of a sudden we will go skate 4-4, 6:13 to go in this third period of play, as this one will be a face-off to the far side by the Oilers, and it'll be picked up now in behind the net by Stuart Skinner, picked up in a big run there on Ceci by Elias Lindholm, and the Oilers just swimming out there right now, trying to survive, kind of fighting for their own lives here in this game one, as this will be back along the far side wall, picked up by Draisaitl, fired down low, as this will be Nugent Hopkins batting along the wall. The Canucks rolling around in behind their net, 7-0 the shots on net, puck through the middle of the Oilers, melting down here as Nurses beat out wide, the shot towards the net, Skinner all the way out of the crease, 5-4. The Canucks have come all the way back and made it a hockey game now, which they have taken their first lead. What a wild sequence here, as it is 5-4. The camera is absolutely buzzing, and Rogers Arena has lit into pandemonium. I 100% believe what I see. This is not unexpected. I mean, the Oilers sat around and got no shots through more than 15 minutes of this third period, and absolutely just collapse here in this third period of play. Darnell Nurse gets caught out wide on Connor Garland, and then Skinner is beat out of his crease bad, and the Edmonton Oilers find themselves down a goal with 5 minutes to go. This one's about to get wild, friends. Let me tell you, as this comes up off the wall and it's pucked to the far side. Through the middle, the Oilers will pick up across the line. Here's Ekholm, spun off his stick. Right to the middle as Bouchard. We'll see this one clung there by the Oilers to the far side boards. Turned back down low for the Oilers, as this will be fought off the boards by Hyman. Hyman's sticking with it here. Picked up now by Draisaitl. Draisaitl the near side for McDavid, the top line, getting something going here. And this will be chipped out instead off a stick by the Canucks with 4:52 to go. Skinner up the boards, picks it up for McDavid. Far side pass. Bouchard gets it going inside his own zone. 4:41 to go. The Canucks fans are absolutely raining it down inside Rogers Arena, as this one's tipped into the Canucks zone. McLeod on towards the net. It's tipped there, I think, by Fogle off the hallway, actually off a skate. And it's fired back inside the Canucks zone, or Oilers zone. I'm scrambled. This is the biggest meltdown I've seen the Oilers have in a long while in the playoffs, as this one's picked up through the middle, tipped there by Ryan McLeod. Nope, they will rule it not. And it will be an icing call inside the Oilers zone. Wow. I mean, Rogers Arena is, by every definition, buzzing, friends. 4:13 to go in this third period of play. They are absolutely lit up, as this one will be an opportunity for a face-off inside the Oilers zone. This will be shot to the far side boards. The Oilers with 14 shots, 3 in the second, and only none in the third period. Kane down the wing, the shot on Silvas, free in the crease. Kane got a good opportunity there, and that might be the momentum the Oilers look to build on. This game still has plenty of time to get wild. The puck goes into the bench with 3:55 to go in the third period to play. 5-4. the lead for the Vancouver Canucks. We will head to one last commercial break before bringing this one home. So here you go, friends. For those of you Vancouver Canucks fans back home right now, happy that you took a lead. I have promised right off the hop of this live stream tonight, if the Canucks do advance, not saying I'm ending the series after game one and what we just saw here in this third period, but if the Canucks do advance, friends, I will tell you, I will be live streaming as many Vancouver Canucks games down the stretch into the hopefully Stanley Cup victory for the Canucks, if that comes to fruition. So I do want you Vancouver Canucks fans, Oilers fans alike, to consider hitting that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV. I want you to stick around and hang out with me as this series goes along and evolves into the next round for either which of these two teams. So interesting situation developing late in the hockey game. The Oilers have choked a 2-goal lead as it's a tough look, but we'll see what happens now with less than 5 minutes to play, less than 4 minutes to play in this one, as we'll see where we go. As we are just about to hit 20,000 views on the live stream, friends, thank you so much for your support this evening. That is much appreciated, even if this game doesn't necessarily go our way. But we'll see where it goes. Again, to recap those goals for the Canucks, bang, bang, bang in this third period. Miller, Zadorov, Garland. The Zadorov and Garland goals coming a grand total of 40 seconds apart, 39 to be precise, as the Oilers fall apart here. So, Tyler, thank you so much, and Rediscovery Records in here as well. But here we go. Third period time late as the Oilers, it was Nugent Hopkins with a chance to put this game away, hit the post, and then cue the comeback for the Canucks. So the Edmonton Oilers need to find a way to get this job done here late in this evening's hockey game, as we are 1-goal lead for the Vancouver Canucks. Skinner has kind of melted down, as one might expect for at least once in this series, as it's back inside the Oilers zone. Ekholm out there with Bouchard and the crew, as it'll come back up through the neutral zone. Hyman tips inside the Canucks zone, bounced back to Draisaitl, who takes a fall on the ice, bounced inside the Canucks zone. Draisaitl's lumbering back towards the bench, and he is hurting, as Draisaitl just fell and hurt something, as he's been hurting all game, and it looks like maybe something was wrong with the skate, as it's fired back inside the Canucks zone. Puck down to the near sideboards, as it'll be off of Bouchard, batted through the neutral zone and back into the Oilers' territory, as this will be Ekholm picking the puck up with 3:12 to go in this third period of play, as the Oilers walk up through the middle of their own zone, looking to make the play here for what could be the decisive blow to make it a 5-5 game, as this one's picked up to the near side for Fogle, as he'll fire a backhander up over top, shot towards the net, goes off the end. I thought it was in the back of the net looking at that first angle, as this one is now Ceci playing it over to Nugent Hopkins, picked up by the Canucks. 2:43 to go here in this third period of play. The Canucks will fire back inside the Oilers zone. There you have it for Stuart Skinner. Skinner will pick it up and leave it there for McLeod. The Oilers, blew a tire. It comes up the boards. The Oilers' level of desperation, definitely not unmatched by the Canucks here, as the Canucks have come up with a great effort in this third period of play. McLeod back to the point. The shot by Ceci goes wide of the net, comes right in front, and the Canucks are able to clear back the other way. 2:13 to go in this third period, as it's all the way back inside the Canucks zone, and the Oilers will get the face-off inside Canucks territory on the icing with 2:15 to go in this, 2:09 actually to go in this third period of play. Let's go, friends. The Edmonton Oilers about set to get things going. Empty net for the Oilers, and I believe with 2:09, or else we got a power play here, as we got the Canucks talking things over at the bench with Rick Tocchet here. Skinner will go to the bench now. Empty net officially for the Edmonton Oilers. 2:09 to go in this third period of play, as Leon Draisaitl draws in for the face-off, as this will be an opportunity. Draisaitl 1 for 5 in the face-off, wins attempts opportunity, and it's one back. Connor McDavid's got the puck now to Nugent Hopkins. Nuge back to the blue line for Matthias Ekholm, as that's Bouchard playing that down low to Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl down to Nugent Hopkins, looking backdoor for McDavid. Couldn't jam it home, as this one is picked up by Bouchard to the near side boards as Draisaitl bounces in off the tape of Hyman. Erased there on the play is McDavid by, I think, Tyler Myers. And this is going to be wrapped around on the far side boards. McDavid trying to get to that puck against Besser. That was a nice play by Nugent Hopkins. Picked up by Draisaitl. Draisaitl with the puck. Far side pass. Tipped out a play by the Canucks with a $1:27 to go in this third period of play. So, my heart is thumping, friends. Again, apologies if I screw up the call at all here. My heart is pumping like it hasn't pumped all playoffs, to be honest with you. This is where I really lose myself a lot during hockey games, as this last minute and 27 seconds is a lot to handle, as the Canucks and Oilers will take a face-off inside the Canucks zone. As this one to the far side point, as Ekholm's got it off the face-off. Now Bouchard to the far side boards for Nugent Hopkins. Nuge is buried there by Lindholm, chipped by the Canucks, tied up, and it'll be fired back inside the Oilers zone. Puck's weaning down towards the net, not going to happen. $1:08 to go in this period as it's fired to the far side boards, as Hyman can't get across the line cleanly, and as Ekholm plays it now for McDavid. Picked up by the Oilers. Here's Hyman down the wing to the middle. The shot from Nugent Hopkins couldn't get on net. And now here's Bouchard keeping it on side to McDavid. McDavid far side, bounces over top of Nuge's stick as this one right towards the top of the zone as Ekholm fires it over to Bouchard. Bouchard fires the shot. It goes up over top of the net. This one will be fired back down low again as Nugent Hopkins tries to keep this in the zone. The Canucks able to fire it back the other way. And this will be back to the blue line inside the Canucks territory. Here's McDavid right in front. Ekholm's shot is blocked. Hyman through the middle, blocked in front again. 14 seconds to go. The shot towards the net, fired by Draisaitl. Save made by Shelovs. And this will be back to the point now for Ekholm. The shot towards the net blocked. 3 seconds to go in the game, and that will do it for the Oilers. That's all she wrote in game number 1. 5-4, the victory for the Vancouver Canucks. What a heartbreaker for the Oilers fans, but what a choke job from the Oilers in game 1. I mean, that has got to be one of, if not the most embarrassing third periods the Oilers have played in a playoff series in a long dang time. My goodness, that was rough to a T. That said, it's only game 1, and as we were talking about in the pregame amble, if you were on Dolynny TV for the pregame amble, we were talking about the winner of game 1 in this series likely isn't going to win the series. It's just some weird little feeling. I mean, for the Oilers, you look at what they did against the Calgary Flames in 22, the last time they faced a Canadian opponent. That is where it kind of came down to. So, yeah, the Oilers choke ultimately what was a 4-1 lead at one point, all the way down to 5-4. That is absolutely unbelievable, friends. I'm a little stunned here myself, to be honest with you. It's going to be a weird day tomorrow, that's for sure, recapping what happened here. But wow, what a wild game here for the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks. Friends, with that, we'll flip over to the post-game edition and get this done, because we'll see what happens as we get going. All right, let's do this. Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV, and that was an Edmonton Oilers choke job in the third period of play against the Vancouver Canucks. My goodness, what was at one point a 4-1 hockey game for the Edmonton Oilers ends up a 5-4 regulation final for the Vancouver Canucks. And I will tell you this, I want to make a quick mention of this. This has nothing to do with what the Oilers did wrong, nothing to do with what the Vancouver Canucks did right. By the way, I can take this off because this is going to do us no good the rest of the playoffs. Let's go get this off. We've now lost. But basically, this has everything to do with a full hands-on credit to the Vancouver Canucks fans inside Rogers Arena. When you talk about what a home crowd, what home ice advantage can do for you, you watch those 3 goals to even the game for the Canucks. How loud, how passionate, how crazy the fans got goal by goal by goal. And then all of a sudden, that 5th one goes and the top blows off of Rogers Arena. So a full credit to the fans, the Vancouver Canucks fans inside Rogers Arena tonight for doing an absolute amazing job at bringing their boys home to victory, because that's, honestly, that is the one thing. The Oilers, again, yeah, they didn't get any shots or whatever, but a lot of it has to do with the Canucks just didn't make it friendly to play them, and a big part of that to me is the hometown crowd in Vancouver, who goal by goal built the momentum for the team. And my goodness, you watch those last 2 go in and it was just heartbreaker, dagger stuff for the Edmonton Oilers. So yeah, no, this is where we find ourselves. We'll recap the goal scoring and then head on out, because there's not much as an Oilers fan to really take away, other than you just need to not melt under pressure in the 3rd period like you did this hockey game, and in the back half of a hockey game actually get some shots on goal, because that was not the best effort. The Oilers were trying to sit on a lead, and the Canucks fans were percolating, ready to explode. So Hyman, Matthias Ekholm get the first 2 goals. Joshua makes it 2-1. Cece Hyman make it 4-1. And then it's all Canucks all the way home from there. Lindholm, Miller, Zadorov, Garland. And like I said, Lindholm scores. Canucks fans are going crazy into the intermission. Miller scores just about halfway through the 3rd period. Canucks fans are feeling it. And then Zadorov, 4 minutes later, blows the top off Rogers Arena to the point that the Oilers make some mental mistakes, and bing, bang, boom. It is all told a 5-4 final in regulation for the Vancouver Canucks this evening. So, friends, I'm baffled. Again, I thought, you know what, after that LA series, the way the Oilers were playing in the 3rd period, hey, you know what, they're not getting opportunities, but it's fine. It's going to be okay, because this is what the Oilers do now. And the Canucks just never stopped coming, and the crowd was on top of the Oilers all night. And basically that's my story of the game, is the Vancouver Canucks crowd. I can sit here and rehash it a million ways for you, because it was incredible to see. And now, you know what, here's the hard part. I don't care about anything that happened on the ice, because whatever happens in the game before, you have to flush it and go into the new game and do the best to win that one, because you can't win the game previous anymore once you've lost it. So yeah, no, tough go, but hey, it is what it is, and we'll survive. So, friends, thanks so much for being aboard here on the post-game edition. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I am up on out of here. And for those of you friends back home watching on the live stream, well, we'll keep this going, as yeah, this was a tough finish as an Edmonton Oilers fan tonight. I don't know what else to tell you. That was wild. And again, you heard it in the post-game. You're going to hear it again when you tune into the post game, but I'll tell you right now, I have nothing but admiration for how the Vancouver Canucks fans treated that game, as that was just absolutely unbelievable. The Canucks fans brought that level of energy that in the 3rd period, it literally melted every bit of effort the Oilers had put into that hockey game. That is just, I'm absolutely blown away. I don't know what else to tell you here, friends. It was a great effort from the Vancouver Canucks tonight, but even more so from the fans. And if they do that all 4 home games, this is ending in heartbreak fashion for the Oilers in Game 7. My goodness, the Edmonton Oilers lose a heartbreaker, but I mean, this is just one of those things where home ice advantage. They got the home bounces. They got a couple of things early on in the game to score a couple goals, did the Canucks, and it ends up being a final in which, I mean, to anyone sitting here clowning me for the Edmonton Oilers will destroy the Vancouver Canucks video title, I think that kind of made a target on my back a little bit there. I will tell you, I did that for a purpose, and if you watch the video, you kind of get where I was going with that. But again, I'm hoping to any Canucks fan watching back home right now that's listening to me stammer on as I try to upload tonight's video. It's just very simply, For me, looking at this, I have nothing but admiration for the Vancouver Canucks fans showing up in style tonight to do this job. So this was wild by all means. Obviously, you don't usually see a 9-goal playoff game in round 2, but that is what we ended up getting. So for the Oilers tonight, I'm hoping they learn the lesson and really move forward. But it'll be interesting to see kind of if the Canucks fans are even more loud, even more on top of the Oilers in game number 2, because that was a weird way to end game 1. I'll tell you that. You thought the Oilers, right? I thought the Oilers were just going to walk it down and do what they did against LA, but Canucks fans weren't going to allow them to do that, nor were the Canucks, and the Oilers really didn't push the envelope enough to earn that right there. So, yeah, you know what? End of the day, hats off, and obviously not diminishing the effort the Canucks put forward either when talking about how much of an effort their fans put forward. But it's been an interesting game 1 where it went seesaw of emotions, right? You thought the Oilers probably had this one in the bag after the second period, especially the way they had played the LA Kings, but the Vancouver Canucks just never stopped coming and really just took it home. So yeah, that's where we wrap up here tonight, friends. I will get to your comments and questions here in a matter of moments. Just give me a moment, and then we'll get the video up and we'll kind of roll this for a few more moments, as it's 10:58. I don't want to go to bed till about 11:15 anyway, so give me just a moment here to get the tags done on the live stream. But yeah, I mean, what other lesson can you learn in game number 2 for the Oilers other than expect the unexpected from this Canucks team, expect them to push hard all game, and expect the fans to be on top of you against you all night, because it was geez. I mean, never done. The Canucks were never done in tonight's hockey game. They kept just pesky kind of getting there. So, yeah, it was a wild game, and now all of a sudden we get towards game number 2 now, as game 1's already in the rear view, and you have to hope the Oilers learn lessons, or else this series could really be interesting, that's for sure. So let's go here, friends. Just sorry, I'm not really good at typing and talking at the same time. I kind of struggle with that. Anyone that's ever called me knows that very well. As we'll get this going, and we should be just about done here on the post game. So there we go. So the Oilers choke game 1. Quite honestly, that's really the only way to put it to you honestly this evening, is the Oilers choke job game 1. And well, end of the day, it ends up going to heartbreaker fashion for the Edmonton Oilers, as we'll see where this goes. But obviously a 1-goal game, right? I think for the Oilers, it gives you a lot of hope that you're not necessarily dead in the water, and not like you sucked so bad you can't rebound from this by any means. But yeah, definitely if you're playing 4 games on Vancouver's ice, you're probably not winning this series. You got to find a way to win the next one, win the next 2 at home, and really either lose game 5 or bring it home in game 5 or 6, because yeah, that's where we find ourselves tonight. So yeah, we are just waiting for the post game to upload, friends. But again, to recap on the post game edition, if you're just tuning in: Zach Hyman, Matthias Ekholm, Dakota Joshua, Cody Ceci, Zach Hyman, Elias Lindholm. It's 4-2 Oilers after 2. Then it's JT Miller, Nikita Zadorov, Connor Garland, and it is up and done 5-4 Canucks after 3 periods of play. So tough go, but hey, we'll see where this Edmonton Oilers team takes us next, right? Obviously that's the case, as that was a tough finish to that hockey game, and we'll see what happens here. But we will go finish this off, and we do actually have to make an edit to the Dolynny TV post-game stuff, as we have to change it up and go here, friends, as the Edmonton Oilers post-game on Dolynny TV is just about live. But again, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everybody back home tonight for being on the live stream. This will officially go down as the best Dolynny TV Edmonton Oilers live stream of all time. To be honest with you, actually, that is the territory we're approaching, and that's why I'm kind of taking my time getting out of here tonight, is I really do want to just bring that home this evening. But 1,328 hours live for the evening. So, all right, guys, that is where we find ourselves this evening. The Oilers post-game show now live on Dolynny TV if you want to go check that out. But Stuart Skinner obviously finishes with what was a rough night in net. I think both goaltenders actually finished with a rough night in net. Dakota Joshua has a 3-point night. That's pretty phenomenal. As Arthur Shilovs finishes with an .833 save percentage, so a tough go there. I think actually somewhat worse than that. Actually, it would be 15 saves on 19 shots, so that would be what, 15 divided by 19 is a .789 save percentage. So if you're the Edmonton Oilers and you're hanging your hat on anything tonight, it is the fact that you cracked the goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks for 4 goals, and you just have to find a way to really simply put, hold the Canucks below 4 goals, and you're probably going to find a way to win this next game. So friends, that'll do it from me tonight. We have hit the 15,500 subscribers, so thank you for being aboard this evening. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I got nothing more for you. The post game's live. Go rewatch that. I'm up on out of here. Tough night tonight, but hey, game number 2 Friday night. Let's party. We can stay up late Friday night. We can go all night Friday night if we want. I am up on, gone.